All parties on Lewis versus Garcia. Step forward, please.
29-year-old business owner Quincy Lewis is suing his ex-wife, 25-year-old Jennifer Garcia, for the repair of his video camera after their 4-year-old daughter dropped it. Jennifer is countersuing for the cost of the camera, claiming he never paid for it in the first place.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 225 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Garcia. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Were you two folks ever married?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
And how long have you been divorced?
We've been divorced since, actually the final divorce just went through last August. So.
And you have a 5-year-old daughter?
4-year-old.
4-year-old. So this is an interesting complaint. Mr. Lewis.
Correct.
According to your complaint, you lent your former wife a camcorder, video camera, right?
Correct.
And you were on relatively good terms with her?
Yeah, I try to communicate on a win-win situation just for our daughter.
Well, that's good. And while the video camera was at her house, your daughter got a hold of it somehow.
That was the story, right?
And dropped it.
That's from my understanding. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Did you speak to your daughter about it?
Actually, I didn't even really talk to my daughter about it because when she's at my house, she knows better. I discipline her not to touch things that, that's not a toy. So I didn't even talk to her about it because it's not between my daughter. If she did drop it, she's still responsible for it.
Why do you think she's still responsible for it?
Oh, because she's the parent. Just like if she loaned me something and I broke it or my daughter broke it there, I would have to be responsible for it too.
Well, that's an interesting view of the law if in fact she was negligent with it by allowing your daughter to have access to it. But if it was truly an accident and she wasn't negligent with the camera, then you're both the parents of this 4-year-old, right?
Correct.
So tell me how this camera got broken. I was trying to play something on the camcorder, and I had to turn around and do something, and I put it on the couch. And then when I turned around, she was holding it and dropped it.
Is your daughter here today?
Yeah, she is.
Does she remember what happened? Do you know?
I haven't asked her, but I don't know if she did or not.
You mind if I ask her?
No, you could ask her.
Why don't you bring her up here? Why don't you bring her up here so that she can stand closer to me?
Stop putting your hands on your mouth.
How you doing? Good. You just step up here. Come on.
Hi.
All right.
Barry, could you help her up on that chair?
Sure. Come on. Oh, big girl. Thanks, Judge. There you go.
There you go. Hi. Tell me your name.
Maya.
Could you tell me your name without your finger in your mouth?
Maya.
Maya? You're so pretty, Maya. Where did you get that dress?
My mom picked it out.
Your mom picked it out? Can I ask you a question, Maya? Do you remember touching a camera? Did you hold the camera? And did it drop? Is that what happened? Did you feel badly? No, because it was an accident? What did you want to do with the camera? Did you want to play with it? So what happened?
It just dropped.
Did you feel badly?
No.
No? Did your mommy yell at you? Good. Anything else you want to tell me about the camera? Okay. She's cute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So your daughter dropped the camera. So why are you suing her?
Basically, it's about responsibility. I think it's an accident. Doesn't matter who dropped it. I think if my daughter dropped it at my house and it was some of hers, I would have to replace it because of my negligence. Maya, she's only 3 years old at the time. She's not responsible for a $1,000 piece of equipment. You know, it was an accident.
Well, I don't
That's why
necessarily
I even-
disagree with everything that you say, sir, but there is a counterclaim here, so let me talk about the counterclaim. Your former wife says that you purchased this camera along with a lot of other things at a store, and you purchased it, and both of your names were on the credit to purchase this, and the camera was never fully paid for,
Correct.
and the matter went into collection, and it's against her credit as well as yours.
Correct.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So you didn't pay for the camera?
Well, we were supposed to make payments together, and I kept on making payments, and finally I kept on asking her for the checks, and she kept on telling me to give me, she's going to give me the checks, and she never did. I kept on going to McMahon's paying checks.
Well, who had the camera?
I had the camera.
So you had the camera and you wanted her to give you checks for it?
No, it's the checks are for the other stuff.
What other
the
stuff?
TV and the couch we purchased together.
Where's the TV?
She has a TV.
I have the TV.
And who has the couch?
He has the couch.
The couch is basically out.
But you kept the couch.
He kept
Right,
the couch.
because the reason I kept the couch because we threw away my old couch.
It doesn't make any difference.
Right.
You bought a couch,
Right.
a camcorder, and a television set.
Right.
Okay. Co-signed on all of those things.
Correct.
She kept the TV. You kept the camcorder, which was $1,000 according to you.
Correct.
You just said $1,000 camcorder.
Right.
How much was the TV?
It was for $230.
So you kept the $230 TV,
Yes.
and you kept the $1,000 camcorder,
Right.
and she was supposed to pay you half of the bill.
No, we're supposed to just make payments together because the
What kind of payments were you supposed to make together? How did you cut those payments? You pay half, I'll pay half, or I'll pay three
It's been
quarters?
a long time since we make payments, but I'm not sure. I think it was $40 a month. I'm not sure how much it was.
But meanwhile, you didn't make the payments.
Right, I was making my payments on time. I had money. I was making my payments on time, but every time I went to go get her check from her, you know, she didn't have a check.
Well, you had most of the property, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So far, for her $250 television set, she paid $600 for a couch that you're sitting on. You didn't have a very good lawyer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Quincy Lewis says his ex-wife, Jennifer Garcia, owes him for the repair of his video camera after their 4-year-old dropped it. Jennifer says Quincy owes her for the camera.
So the agreement was you let her use the camcorder
Correct.
because it was really purchased by both of you.
Correct.
And now it's broken.
Right.
And you had stopped paying on it already, right? You had
Correct.
stopped paying on it already.
Right.
And so that whatever warranty you had on it died when you stopped paying.
No, actually, the warranty was still good. I have this right here. The warranty was still good.
So why didn't you have it fixed?
It didn't cover labor. It just covered parts.
Just a second. So you had the camcorder fixed.
Right. I had it fixed.
Oh, good.
Right.
So it didn't cover labor.
Right.
And how much was the labor?
Labor was $288 total.
So why are you suing her for $350?
$12 for gas going to Ventura and $50 for the tapes it ate. And because she didn't even tell me it was broken when I got it back. I didn't even know it was broken until I confronted her about it.
That's not true.
How much was the couch?
The couch was for $800, and I paid 80% of it.
Is that
And-
right?
Right.
And all she got out of this deal was a $250 television set. You got the couch and you got the $1,000 camcorder. Is that right?
Right. We were supposed to share a camcorder though.
Well, if you're supposed to share the camcorder, sir, then what are you suing her for? Then it was partly her camcorder that she broke, or that was broken
So
while
she
in her
should be
possession.
responsible for fixing it.
Huh?
So why should I be responsible for fixing it if we share it? If I'm supposed to be responsible for fixing it, then, I mean, I wouldn't want to loan it to her no more. Am I correct?
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
Sounds to me, if I get this scenario right, when the two of you separated, there were 3 major items that were outstanding. One couch that cost $800, which she paid, and you agree, 80% of. So she paid $600 for the couch. You got the couch. Outstanding was a $1,000 camcorder, which you had,
Right.
and a television set worth $250, which she kept. You didn't have a very good lawyer. Because that doesn't sound like even to me.
Yes.
Right? So far, for her $250 television set, she paid $600 for a couch that you're sitting on.
Well, the couch is gone.
That's not her fault. Why is that her fault?
No, nobody really wanted the couch because it was old. It was messed up. And McMahon's would not fix it.
It hadn't been paid for. She paid for it.
Right.
You had it for a while. Did you have it for a while after you separated?
Yes.
Did you have it for a while?
Actually,
Did you sit on it after you separated?
Correct. Yeah. Right.
Mr. Lewis,
Right.
get a grip.
Right.
Your case is dismissed. And madam, I'm dismissing your counterclaim because according to you, you've been told that he's responsible for those bills by the store. Is that right?
Yes.
Good. Goodbye.
It's not true.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We had the camcorder together, supposed to share it. If I break it, I'm going to be responsible for it. If she breaks it, why am I going to let her use the camcorder and she's not going to be responsible? What she breaks it again, I'm going to pay for it every time she breaks it? It's common sense.
I went to court to get a restraining order against him, and when the judge signed a restraining order, he was against it. He's going to do anything to get me to court and do something. It's just out of spite.
And now the next case.
Parties on Raffanon versus Smith. Step forward, please.
28-year-old corporate secretary Corey Raffanon claims 18-year-old Jonte Smith deliberately killed her cat.
Ms. Raffanon, you complain that the defendant purposely killed a pet cat of yours.
Yes.
He says it was an accident.
Yes.
Did you know him before this incident?
No, I did not.
You'd never seen him before?
Nope.
So why don't you tell me where this happened and under what circumstances?
It happened in front of my house on June 19th, which was an evening. Myself and my cats went out for our usual outings before bedtime.
Were they on leashes?
No.
Why not?
We usually stay in our yard, but they were running around. And I was standing at the beginning of the yard by the door, and I saw the commotion of when he drove by. He went speeding by south past my house, but then he came back and he sped this way and then he stopped after passing my house and backed all the way up to where the cat was killed the first time, and then took off again, going this way again, swerving to try and hit the other cat that he missed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was speeding up the street. He swerved in towards the gutter and hit the cat with his front wheel. Took off again, this time swerving towards the other side of the street and barely missing her other cat.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 28-year-old corporate secretary Corey Raffanon claims 18-year-old Jonte Smith deliberately killed her cat.
So let me try to understand this. You were in your yard, and from what you tell me, the cat that was killed was in the street.
No, she was on the sidewalk.
Are you telling me his car went up on the sidewalk?
He went into the gutter to run her over.
No. The into the gutter is the street, madam, where the cars travel. He didn't come up on your sidewalk.
I didn't see when he did it, so that's what I have my witnesses for.
Where did you find the cat?
About 19 inches away from the sidewalk.
In the street, where cars travel.
That's after she was ran over by the sidewalk. She had got up and traveled.
You didn't
and then
see
collapsed.
that?
No,
You didn't see that?
My witness, Tina, saw that. She was on that side.
Step up, Tina. Tell me your last name.
Reese.
All right, Miss Reese, from what point did you observe this incident?
From the same side of the street that the cat was hit on. I was about 5 feet behind the cat when it was hit.
Are you a friend of hers?
No, we had just recently met after the cat had been hit.
After the cat died? Okay, so tell me what you saw.
I was walking up the street and he had come by me one way. And after I'd crossed the street, he came by the other way. And at that point, the cat had been sitting in the gutter, and he was speeding up the street. He swerved in towards the gutter and hit the cat with his front wheel, swerved back out and took off up the street. So I started yelling at him to come back. He backed up and told me the cat shouldn't have been in the street, took off again, this time swerving towards the other side of the street and barely missing her other cat.
So I am correct that the cat was in the street where cars travel when it was hit.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Have a seat. Now, Mr. Smith, you were driving in your car that night?
Yes.
At what point did you realize that you had hit something?
When I felt the car run over it.
So what did you do?
I backed up to see if the cat was all right. Then it never happened to me before, so I went home and told my mother, and she went back down there and the cat was gone.
Did you see this cat before you hit it, sir?
I saw it out the corner of my eye before I ran it over.
Did you try to avoid it?
Yes. By the time I had the chance to react to it, I already ran over the cat.
What time of the night was this?
Maybe about 7.
It was after 8.
It's after 8 at night.
Right, and it was still daylight because it was summertime.
But it had started to get dark after 8 o'clock. It was dusk.
After 8:30 it gets dark, yes.
Yes. Who are you?
I was in the car with him.
Tell me your name.
Charlie Keenan. I was in the car. The cat had ran in the middle of the street. He had tried to dodge it, but it was too late. The cat got hit. He backed up to see if the cat was all right, and that's when her witness started getting mad and yelling at me and him. And because he didn't know what to do, we went back to his house and told his mom. But another cat had ran in the middle of the street, which he did not try to hit. He tried to dodge that one again, too. And we went to his house and told his mom. His mom came back.
Have a seat. Were you there?
No, I was at the house when he came home. When he came...
Tell me who you are.
Alisa Smith.
Are you related to him?
Yeah, he's my younger brother.
Okay.
And he was really upset that he hit the cat. And also, he's a very good driver. There's no way he'll swerve over to hit a cat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 800-JUDY.
You have to take some responsibility for this, madam. You understand that?
I understand that cats do accidentally get hit because they do roam. But the thing
you have to take some responsibility for this because you decided to let your cats out, unleashed, and even according to your own witness, your cat was in the street at 8 o'clock at night when it's starting to get dark, and that's not where your cat belongs. Your cat's supposed to be on your property, not out in the street. I mean, he could have swerved to avoid the cat. He could have hit a child that was in the street. And that would have been in part your fault for letting your cat out there in the street. That's ridiculous. I don't know what you're suing him for. He didn't purposely try to kill your cat. And as a matter of fact, what he did was, and I absolutely believe him, when he saw he hit something, he did come back. And he didn't come back. I mean, you surmise that he came back in order to finish the job. Well, that's ridiculous. I absolutely believe him that he came back in order to see what happened, but he's a young man and he got frightened, and he didn't come back to finish off the job. He came back, you know, when you hit something, whether you hit an animal, whether you hit a child, you get nervous. That's not something that usually happens, but you caused the problem. He didn't. It wasn't his intention when he got behind the wheel of a car to kill something. Have you ever hit an animal before?
Never.
What are you looking at her for?
Her parents have saw him do these things before. They said they've seen him.
Listen to me. If her parents saw anything, they should be here. They should be here. Your cat belonged corralled on your property, not in the street where cars travel. This lawsuit is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Parties on Lamance versus Matthews. Step forward, please.
School bus driver Roxy Lamance says her estranged son-in-law assaulted her. She's asking for lost wages.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 234 on the calendar in the matter of Lamance versus Matthews. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Now, Mr. Matthews, I'm going to start with you, sir. Is that okay? This is your mother-in-law.
Yeah, ex. They're in the process of a divorce with my wife.
She is now your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
You seem to acknowledge both instances of physical battery on your mother-in-law, throwing her across the room, I think is what you said here. You admit you threw her across the room. And you also admit that you damaged her car. Right?
Right.
And you say it's her fault. So I'm anxious to hear that. I'm anxious to hear about that.
Your Honor, at that time, me and my wife were having problems, and she was pretty much going under the verge to where she was going to kick me.
Just a second. You and your wife were having problems slowly.
Right. Okay, sorry. And
you were living with your mother-in-law.
At the time. And
you have children? One child.
One child. And we were having problems, and we're just pretty much to a point where she's going to kick me out.
Who was going to kick you out?
My wife was. But when Roxy ended up finding out about it, she decided to take matters into her own hands and kick me out herself. But in the process, took my son and hid him, because knowing that if she was going to kick me out, I would have took him with me. But she hid him and stated that he wasn't mine and to get out of her house. That is at which time I threw her across the room, yelled at her, where did she take my son? She wouldn't respond, so I went outside and took damage on her car.
Step up here. Why were you separating from your husband?
Because of his violence and drug use and stuff like that, and just things were not working out. I'd found out he had had an affair.
Violence towards whom?
Towards me.
During the time you were living in your mother's home, did he ever put his hands on you?
We were, well, yes. And we'd only been there for a short time at that point when this all took place.
When you were living at your mother's house, was he using drugs?
Yes, he was.
What kind of drugs?
Crank.
Crack?
Crank.
Crank?
Yes.
What is that?
Amphetamines.
Was he working?
No. He lost his job.
Due to the fact that he robbed a liquor store.
Mr. Matthews, were you working at the time you were living in your mother-in-law's house?
No, I wasn't.
Had you been arrested?
Previously, yes.
For robbery?
Yes.
Were you using amphetamines?
At that time, yes. Penny was too.
Penny is your wife?
Mm-hmm.
And how old is your child?
He's 4 now.
Well, it would seem to me that your mother-in-law did absolutely the right thing by taking your child and hiding him so that when she kicked you out of the house, you wouldn't take him with you.
She didn't have to be involved. And it was none of her concern.
I was supporting him.
Just a second. Mr. Matthews, let me go over this again with you, sir. You had been arrested for robbery. You were a user of drugs, right? And you were unemployed. And you were living with your mother-in-law because you couldn't afford to have your own house to maintain yourself. So you think that your mother-in-law was doing the wrong thing by trying to protect your 4-year-old son from not only you, but you and maybe even from her own daughter, assuming that what you say is correct, that you were both using drugs. Don't you think that was a smart thing to do? It's what I would do with my grandson. I wouldn't let my son-in-law, if he was arrested for robbery, high on drugs, and unemployed, take my 4-year-old grandchild. No way, over my dead body.
Oh, but it didn't matter. Oh.
Over my dead body.
It's not her child. It's not Roxy's child.
So, what you're telling me is you don't want to get down on your knees and thank her for protecting your 4-year-old from his crank, abusing, felon father. You don't want to get down on your knees and thank her.
No.
You assaulted her. Oh, you're going to pay. Now, how much damage did he cause to the car? Let's hear about the car.
I have all the paperwork here.
Just give me a bottom line figure.
I paid $250 was what I paid out.
Was your deductible?
That was my deductible. Plus I paid $229.35 for a car rental at the time when it was in the shop. And I also lost 4 hours off of work because I couldn't work the next day after he threw me across the room.
When he threw you across the room, where were you injured?
Well, he hit me in the right shoulder, and I landed against the couch, and I bruised my left side, down my left side. And I do drive a bus, and I load wheelchairs, and I could not bend down and around to strap down wheelchairs during the day, so my dispatcher sent me home.
Well, I don't know where you came up with this figure of $1,077.42 for, which is the amount you're suing him for. Is that right?
Yeah, that's because...
that doesn't include your pain and suffering.
No, I wasn't, because I wasn't trying to get him for anything. I just wanted my money back, is all I wanted. I mean, you know, he's lived with me. I mean, I've practically supported him during the whole 5 years they've been together. You know, and I wasn't out to get him, actually.
You've always been out to get me, even before anything happened.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You pled guilty to a robbery.
Misdemeanor grand theft.
Is that in California? Some state.
And later today,
Regina and I were lovers for 4 years. I had her arrested for domestic violence.
You made her unhappy, stressed for a couple of days. Someone's got to pay for that.
real people, Judge Judy. Roxy laments wants compensation for lost wages from her estranged son-in-law, Arthur Matthews, after he assaulted her and dented her car.
Mr. Matthews, when was the last time you held a full-time job?
I've had one now for over a year and a half.
What happened with your court case?
Which one?
The robbery case.
They gave me a 30 days work program.
You pled guilty?
Yeah.
To a robbery?
Misdemeanor grand theft.
Did you go into a store and take money? Is that what it was?
Yeah, the guy that was in the store gave me the money. Another guy was involved.
And they let you plead guilty to a misdemeanor?
Yeah.
Is that in California?
Mm-hmm.
To some state? Had you been arrested again?
Yeah.
For what?
For burglary.
Burglary. How many times have you been arrested all told, sir?
About 4 times. In the past 10 years, 12 years.
How much time did you spend in jail?
This last time, 5 months.
You have regular visitation with your son?
No, they refuse to let me see him.
Now, Mr. Matthews, you've been in court enough to know that if you want visitation with your child, and if you're willing to be drug tested twice a week to make sure
I
that
get drug tested every week. I go to 3 NA meetings. I go to 3 NA meetings a week, and I've been clean for almost a year.
Oh, that's good. So if you can establish that you've been clean, I am certain that a family court judge here in this jurisdiction would start visitation, even if it was just on a supervised basis. But you have to take the initiative with regard to that. It's not that they're not letting you, sir. With your track record, I wouldn't let you be unsupervised with the child at all. In any event, you had absolutely no basis to either assault her or to damage her property, Mr. Matthews. Absolutely none, sir. She was doing the right thing. Any grandmother would do the same thing in her position. You were in no position, financially, or more importantly, physically, as a drug abuser, to have custody, even temporarily, of your son the time you assaulted her. And she did what was necessary to protect her grandson from his own father. Sometimes that's necessary, and you had no justification whatsoever to hurt her. So I'm awarding her the full extent of her complaint, which is $1,077.42. Glad you're working. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
She don't deserve the money. I don't care what the judge said. She's been doing drugs as long as I have, and she gets custody. Doesn't matter if I have a record or not.
He's had my phone number for 5 weeks and
he's
hasn't
never
called.
called once to set up an appointment to see him. Not even once. Well, I don't think he really wants to see him then. If he had wanted to see him, he would have called.
And now the next case.
Parties on Gaeta versus Alarcon. Step forward, please.
36-year-old Regina Gaeta claims her ex-lover, 28-year-old Erlinda Alarcon, used her ID when she was stopped for a traffic ticket.
Ms. Gaeta, it is your claim that the defendant, who you knew, used your identification when she got a traffic ticket, causing you certain expense and stress, right?
Correct.
She says she didn't do it. How would she come to have your identification?
She used to live with me, and she's done quite a bit to me in the past, living with me, lied to me.
When did she stop living with you?
It's been about 4 years.
And when was this alleged use of your identification?
It was February 1998.
So it was at least 3.5 years after she stopped living with you that you claim that she used your identification.
Correct.
What proof do you have that she used your identification?
Early February when she came over in the 1986 Dodge Colt blue four-door, as it is on the ticket.
Let me see it, please. Did you confront her with this?
No, Linda Alarcon has a domestic violence past where I had her arrested for domestic violence, so I was afraid to deal with it out of court, so I brought it to court.
Well, because this says she's not in a possession of a license. So they didn't have a piece of paper indicating that they were you, whoever it was that got stopped for this violation. So none of your identification was used, it's just that somebody used your name.
Correct.
I need some more proof.
Linda Alarcon works in Modesto, California, and the ticket was given in Ceres, which is 15 minutes away, which is 7:22 p.m. when she received the ticket.
In December of 1997, were you the owner of a 1996 Dodge Colt automobile?
I no longer had that car, Your Honor.
Did you at any time have?
Yes, I did.
You did have that car?
Yes, I did.
When did you have that car?
Just for a few months, probably.
When?
Last year, probably in June, I got the car.
And
it
when
was more trouble than it was worth.
When did you sell the car?
I didn't sell the car, Your Honor. It got stolen.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is the driver's license number that's indicated on this notice to appear your driver's license
Correct.
number?
Yes.
That I find compelling.
Close cat, real people. Judge Judy. Regina Gaeta says her ex-lover, Erlinda Alarcon, used her ID to avoid getting a traffic ticket.
Well, how would her name come up in a car that you had had some contact with?
Your Honor, Regina and I were lovers for 4 years. We continue to be friends, all this time. I mean, she's talking that I have a domestic violence with her. I think if she was so afraid of me, why would she continue to hang out with me?
No, you're not answering my question. What I'm asking you is, if I follow through with what you're suggesting is the car was stolen, and somebody who stole the car found her name somehow in the car and used it when they got this summons. So what I'm asking you is, after 4 years, what would her name on any kind of a document be doing in that car? Otherwise, some thief would have to know your personal business.
Well, we went places in that car. I mean, we were always together in that car.
When?
Anytime she had a doctor's appointment, if she needed me to drive her somewhere, I would take her in my car.
When? What year?
Last year of '97.
Is that right?
No, it's not correct. She's never taken me to the doctor in that 1986
Had you been in that car?
Yes, I have.
How many times had you been in that car?
Maybe 2 times.
Did you ever leave anything in that car?
Never left anything in that car. Your Honor, that I recall a couple of months before February, Erlinda Alarcon had one of my bank cards. I needed to get money from the bank, and I didn't have my card. She pulled one out from the glove box that was my old bank card, and I tried to use it, and it had expired. Then I realized she took my bank card, my old one, so I figured she knows my driver's license by heart. I put it all together. My witness here saw Erlinda Alarcon come over the first week of February in the 1986 Dodge Colt.
So that your identification, some form of identification, was in the car. She had some old cards of yours that had expired. Is that right?
Correct.
Which I returned back to her.
Well, it doesn't make any difference, but they were in the car. So there might have been other things in the glove compartment that had her name on it. But what I find interesting is this driver's license number. Is the driver's license number that's indicated on this notice to appear your driver's license
Correct.
number?
Yes.
That's pretty powerful proof, Ms. Alarcon.
Yeah.
That I find compelling, because on a credit card you may have your name. On a letter that might have been in the glove compartment that has your name. But a driver's license number?
I don't know her driver's license number. I know her date of birth. I mean, we live together, you know. Of course I know her birthday.
So tell me, Ms. Gaeta, what damage did you suffer as a result of
Emotional
this?
distress, very nervous. I suffered a migraine attack.
Did you have to go to court?
Yes, I did.
And that took an evening?
No, well, it just took a couple hours.
Okay. But it was distressing for you to get this, and the
Right.
judge believed you.
Yes.
I believe you. A police officer gave out this ticket.
Right.
Gave out this ticket to a woman who was a female with brown hair, brown eyes, 5'3", weighing 130 pounds, who was Hispanic. That's close, madam. So let me tell you what I have that's close. I have that this was a car that you once had.
Correct.
This ticket was given out in an area in or about the vicinity where you live.
I don't live in that vicinity. I live in Merced.
Or work. It contains information that only someone very close to the plaintiff would know, such as her driver's license number. You certainly had access to her information, how she might sign her name. So I find that pretty compelling. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Too many coincidences. Just too many.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe you got the ticket. I believe you got the ticket, and I believe you used her name. It was an absolutely wrong thing to do. And it caused a certain amount of discomfort and stress when she got this ticket. She knew nothing about it.
Regina was constantly getting migraine headaches even before we got together. She suffered a lot of things, even before we got together.
Oh, but you did the wrong thing. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. The fact that you didn't have to pay the ticket is really not particularly compelling. Somebody's got to say to you, you inconvenienced her, you made her unhappy, stressed for a couple of days. Somebody's got to pay for that. Right? How much do you think that's worth?
Well, if whoever was here who did it, maybe they should pay
You
for
did it.
I did not. I was
Oh, yes, you did, Miss Alarcon. Yes, you did. Life isn't full of that many coincidences. You did it. And you have to compensate her. And I believe a fair and appropriate amount of compensation for you is $500, and that's what I'm giving you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. That's back to your right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy, this is Judge Judy.
All parties on Mixture versus Clouser. Step forward, please.
19-year-old nanny Samantha Nixie claims Jamie and Bob Clouser fired her before her contract was finished. The Clausers say they were justified firing her. She was belligerent to their children.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 227 on the calendar in the matter of Mixture versus Clouser. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
How do you pronounce your last name? Mixture?
Mixture.
You were hired by the defendants to take care of their two little boys
Yes, I was.
as a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
That was in August of this year. You worked for them for 3 days and they fired you.
4.
4 days and they fired you. You want to be compensated because you say they breached a contract that they had with you.
Yes.
How did you find this job?
It was through a nanny agency.
Had you worked for the agency before?
Not through the agency, but I did have a job at the time when I went for the interview as a nanny.
Why did you leave that job?
Unsanitary conditions.
How long had you been working at that job?
For about 2 or 3 weeks.
So for a short time. Before that, who did you work for?
I worked for a cosmetic company.
So you really had no experience as a nanny?
Not an in-home nanny, but as a preschool teacher. I worked for a year as a preschool teacher overseas and an international preschool.
You put an ad through this agency. You
Correct.
applied to this agency. You paid them a fee, I assume.
We did not pay the fee because the fee had not been paid by the time that we had fired, and she did not charge us for the fee.
Did you ask for references?
Yes, I have her application that have references and her work experience, and
So you knew she had no experience as a nanny?
We knew that she had experience in a preschool that was in Egypt.
That you never checked on?
We never checked on, no.
That's not smart.
No.
How old are your children?
Casey is actually a girl, 5, and Trey is 2.
Why did you let her go?
I came home the first night, actually her first day with the kids by herself, because I had spent one day with her, with the children. And they did not hear me come in because they were upstairs in the bathroom with the door shut. She was running the shower to give the kids a bath. They didn't know that I had come in, and even though I was saying hello, hello, walked up to the top of the stairs, and as I got to the top of the stairs, I could hear her angrily talking to the kids, knock it off, get over here right now, your mother is going to be home in just a minute, knock it off. It wasn't so much what she said, it was the tone and the anger in her voice. So I sat and listened to it for a couple of minutes. And finally, when I had knocked on the door, there was utter surprise that I was there, of course. And then she came out smiling and telling me what a wonderful day they had had. In the back of my mind, I thought, if this is a wonderful day, what's going to happen on a bad day?
Okay.
I know dealing with 2 children that there are bad days. The reason she got fired was because I didn't feel that her ability was there to handle ongoing stressful situations.
No. Okay. Did you pay her for the week?
I paid her for the week.
Is that right?
Yes, she did, but that's not true at all, Your Honor. I worked with 25 kids around the same age in Egypt for 1 year, and I never had complaints. Never, not one time. I'm very, very patient, and when she came home that day, I do admit I had a different tone in my voice, but this is the way I was trained, and I have always worked with kids this way, where I use a different tone so that they understand that I'm saying no, but I never ever was angry or yelled or knock it off. I never said that.
You don't have to establish to me that you used the tone, you didn't use the tone. In her mind, in her ears, she wasn't happy with your tone.
I understand that, but you know, when we did go out to the garage to talk about it, I apologized to her only because, like you said, she's the mother of these 2 kids. She knows what she likes to have said to her kids, how she likes it said. She didn't give me a chance maybe to try again.
She doesn't have to do that.
Your Honor, she knew that I had this job. I had told her the first day that I had a job already. And when she told me about the contract, that she always signs contracts with nannies to protect herself as well as the nanny.
Well, let me see the contract that you say you have.
I also have a piece of paper from the agency that claims that she was not working 3 to 4 months prior to her coming to our job.
Well, let me see what you have.
I told you before that...
Let me see what you have. What date were you interviewed by these people?
I believe it was July 28th.
Okay, and you were told to start the very next week, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So when did you quit your previous job?
I had already given her notice. I had already discussed with...
You gave her notice when?
I gave her notice after the nanny agency called me and told me that she has a few interviews for me, including Jamie's.
Okay. So before you were hired by her, you quit your job?
No.
That's what you just told me. I said, when did you give her notice? You just said to me, before, when I got a call from the nanny agency. Just a second, madam. Just make sure. I mean, I'm still lucid at my age. You just said to me, you gave notice to your job when you got a call from the agency, and the agency told you they had set up a couple of interviews for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, if I
just a second. So you quit your job and gave notice before she hired you. That's what you just told me.
No, I didn't mean to say that. I had already given notice to them. What I had told Lily, the woman I was working for before, is that I told her that I'm looking for another job. I will stay with you until I find another job. I had told her this 1 week before I met Jamie and went on the interview. I told her I could leave at any time. I told her this.
For somebody who's very careful about their children, you hired somebody who's a pretty fast talker. I think that it's fine that you gave her a week's salary. I certainly think that if you wanted to be more reasonable and you were smarter, you would have given her 2 weeks' salary and said, look, I'm going to pay you for this week, and I'm even going to pay you for next week. So it'll give you an opportunity to go back to the agency. How much were you paid each week?
With the minimum?
Yes.
$187.50.
Is that right?
That's with the minimum.
I mean, we do it by hours, so I don't know what the exact amount is. 25 hours minimum at $750.
$750.
You're suing for $3,700 and some odd dollars.
Yes. And
you don't have a prayer, madam. Not a prayer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do I look as if I need help from you? Just a second.
Sorry.
Do I look like I need help from you?
No.
And later today,
she took a whole evening to come to my home with 2 police officers and a video camera. They searched my home, saying I stole her cat, I stole her dog. I mean, this went on and on and on.
real people, Judge Judy. Nanny Samantha Mikshi wants Jamie and Bob Clauser to pay her salary, claiming she was wrongly fired.
I don't find that this agreement is anything more than a job description.
That was our interpretation when we wrote it. We wrote a work agreement, not a contract.
No, she told me contract.
And we guaranteed her that was a bad choice of words. The correct word would have been we assured her a certain number of hours each week.
Well, that's what
because we work a different. She worked a different number of hours.
Do I look as if
each day.
I need help from you? Just a second.
Sorry.
Do I look like I need help from you?
No.
Weren't you listening to what I said, sir? What I said was I don't view this as a contract which guarantees her pay from now until the end of the year. What I view it as is a job description, which in effect guarantees her when she's working for you the minimum number of hours to ensure that she doesn't have to double up on jobs, which would give her, if she worked for you, 25 hours a week minimum. What I did say, if you were listening, was you fired her. And you fired her really for tone, because you weren't happy with the way she was handling a situation. Quite frankly, based upon what I'm hearing today, it was probably a very good choice that you made. However, in all fairness, she didn't do anything outrageous to your children, right?
Right.
So you should have given her a week's salary so that she could have at least spent the next week looking for another job. I do believe she gave notice to her job before. I mean, after all, she left them on a Friday and came to work for you on a Monday. That's not giving them a hell of a lot of notice. Not terribly responsible. I don't believe her story for a second. In any event, I think you should have given her another week's salary to give her an opportunity to find something else. So I'm going to give her $187.50. Nowhere near $3,700 that you want. This is not a guarantee, what they call in the television industry pay or play, right? Even if you don't work, you get paid. That's quite a trick. Even I don't get that. $187 for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Bottom line, my kids are safe, and I feel I made the right decision in the beginning.
We'll look a little deeper next time.
And now the next case.
Parties on Zeldin versus McInerney. Step forward, please.
33-year-old special ed instructor Robin Zeldin claims her former roommate, 40-year-old nurse Joan McInerney, abused her by bringing her to court too many times. She's suing for abuse of process.
You two ladies had been roommates from 1996 to 1997, according to the papers that I read.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that live-in situation terminated acrimoniously, I gather, because there have been a series of lawsuits for return of security deposit, to damage to the property, all in small claims court, and all of those cases have at this juncture been resolved.
Correct.
So the only thing that is outstanding now is a lawsuit that you filed against her for abuse of process, which is abusing the court system and you.
Yes, Your Honor.
By bringing you to court in a frivolous manner on multiple occasions.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I'm considering. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
How many lawsuits did she file against you?
She filed, first was a restraining order that she did not show up in court for. I did. It was dismissed.
When was that?
That was in January of 1998. And
do you have the papers on that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Then she filed in...
Just a minute, let me take a look. You filed this action for a restraining order against her, is that right?
Yes, I did.
And then you didn't show up in court?
I didn't know I was supposed to show up. They just said if you file a restraining order, it was just to keep her away from me and stop her from threatening me. She constantly threatening me on the telephone.
Just a second. You filed this proceeding, and then on the day that it was scheduled to be heard, you didn't appear.
I didn't know I was supposed to appear for a temporary restraining order.
What did you think happened to a temporary restraining order?
That they were just going to serve her to stay away from me and stop threatening me. That's what I was told.
No, nobody told you that. All right. Anyway, so she filed this one, filed in December of 1997.
Correct.
What was the next action she filed against you?
In May 25th, 1998, in small claims court.
And you didn't appear on the return date?
I had major surgery April the 1st. Recuperating time was 6 months. I sent the judge everything.
Just a second. Hold it. You had major surgery in April?
April 1st.
And you were given a return date?
Yes.
What was that date?
I don't recall what the date was. I was recuperating at the time.
I have it June 24th, 1998.
All right. So, 2.5 months after you were recuperating, you didn't appear in court, and you requested a continuance.
That's right.
How do you support yourself?
I'm a nurse.
When did you return to work?
After my surgery, approximately 6 weeks.
Uh-huh. So, while you had your surgery on the 1st of April, you returned to work in mid-June.
Yes.
So you returned to work prior to the return date on this case?
Yes, I was able to work
Just a second. You were able to work?
Yes.
Now, what reason did you give the judge for requesting a continuance?
I still had a cast on my leg. I worked with a cast on my leg.
Well, if you worked with a cast on your leg, listen to me, if you worked with a cast on your leg, you can get to court with a cast on your leg.
Your Honor, you know, the reason I didn't go to court many times is because my life was threatened by her. I don't know how many times when I was living with her.
I'm not interested in living with her.
And I was afraid of her.
No, listen to me. If you were afraid of her, madam, then you wouldn't have filed these lawsuits against her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I acted in a very cowardly manner. I was afraid of her.
Your actions don't say that. Your actions say, I'm going to give it to her, as my grandfather would say.
33-year-old special ed instructor Robin Zeldin claims her former roommate, 40-year-old nurse Joan McInery, abused her by bringing her to court too many times.
What I want to know is, you went back to work in June, well before you were scheduled to appear in court, and then you wrote to the court and you said to the court that you had just had major surgery and you were recuperating.
Yes.
That's what you told them.
Yes.
You didn't tell them you went back to work.
Part-time.
I don't care whether you went back to work part-time or full-time. Going to court is not a full-time job. It takes one evening. All right. So then you were given an adjourn date because you wrote requesting an adjourn date. And what was the return date that you were then given?
I don't recall because I kept getting phone calls from her. So
I'm not interested in the phone calls.
I don't recall. I do not recall.
What was the adjourn date?
Well, I won the judgment on June 24th. And then I got a vacate the judgment order on September 15th that she refiled again. And I once again appeared in court and she was not there. So her judgment was dismissed.
Why not?
Just afraid of her. And I know that sounds silly, but you don't know the story that's behind this. I have to have a chance to explain why.
No. Listen, you tell me that you're afraid of her. To me, if you're afraid of somebody, then you don't create situations like coming to court where you both have to be together over a couple of dollars. Your original suit was just for a few $100s.
That's right.
I mean, if you were actually afraid of her, what you would have said was, I want to drop the whole thing. I don't want to see her. I don't want to be in the same room with her. Nothing. But instead, it appears to me that on now 4 occasions, you have filed actions requiring her to appear, and you've not appeared.
Because if she won, if I won, I was afraid what she would do to me if I won, because she told me what she would do on many occasions.
So why didn't you?
So I let it go.
Your Honor,
just a minute. You didn't let it go. If you let it go, you wouldn't have written and requested a continuance.
Your Honor,
Jump. You're winning. Be quiet. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes, I acted in a very cowardly manner. I was afraid of her.
Just a second. Didn't you think it was going to be frustrating every time You had a court date. If you didn't show up because, as you said, you were afraid of her, and she went to court because you never notified her you weren't going to court. If she went to court, don't you think that would make her just a tad angry?
A little bit, yes.
Well, if you really didn't want to exacerbate the situation and make her more angry with you, you wouldn't have done anything to make her even more frustrated because she took a morning, an afternoon, an evening to go to court.
Your Honor, you know, she took a whole evening to come to my home with 2 police officers and a video camera. They searched my home, saying I stole her cat, I stole her dog. I mean, this went on and on and on.
No, let me tell you something. The more you're talking to me, the more it's coming crystal clear to me that this course of conduct was designed to frustrate her. And that belies the fact that you tell me that you were afraid of her. Because if you're afraid of somebody, what you try to do is you try to stay as far away from them as possible. That's if you're normal. Now, you may have had good reason to feel frightened by her. You may have. I'm not getting into that, because quite frankly, I'm not interested. But your actions don't say that. Your actions say, I'm going to give it to her, as my grandfather would say.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm not satisfied with your answers because, quite frankly, not only am I frustrated for her, but I'm frustrated for courts who have to sit and listen to this and have people who are waiting to have their cases heard, and they can't have their cases heard because the judge has to sit and listen to a case, and then it's the judgment is set aside because they get a letter from you that you had surgery and you couldn't come to court, which is really untrue. Because you were at work? Because you were at work at the time that you said you couldn't come to court? Baloney. Look, how many hours did you spend in court?
Well, I had to take a day off of work. I work in Monterey Park, so...
On each of those 4 occasions?
Correct.
What's a day's pay?
About $150 a day. I have a pay stub.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. Don't abuse the courts to settle disputes. Don't abuse the courts. Use the courts, but don't abuse them, madam.
Judge Stevens, you may step out. Up back to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Party's on Calvo versus Calvo. Step forward, please.
38-year-old Olga Calvo says her brother, 40-year-old administrator Alberto Calvo, sold her car with parts of her husband's wheelchair inside. Alberto says it was towed away.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Sir. Try to stay awake. Judge, this is number 243 on the calendar in the matter of Calvo versus Calvo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mrs. Calvo, this is your brother?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you and your family were the victims of an armed robbery. And because of the fear that you had staying in your home where the robbery occurred, you called your brother, and he came over and you moved into his house or the garage in his house. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your suit alleges that when you moved out, you left an old car in front of your brother's house.
That's right.
In the old car were some parts to your husband's wheelchair.
Right.
And when you came back to retrieve it, it was gone. So you believe he sold it.
That's right.
What makes you think he sold it?
Well, when I went back to get the car, I called, and his son said that it was there, but then they came to the motel, and he said it was gone. It was no longer there. He said they impounded the car. But when I called the police, they said it wasn't at the city or the county, so that nobody had it.
Could it have been stolen?
It could have, but he said that it was just gone, that a tow truck took it.
After your brother offered his home to you, why do you think that he would do something like sell your car?
Well, I just want to know where the car was. I needed the car to get around because I have a crippled husband and 2 children. And when I called from the motel, my nephew said, okay, your car's here. But then when they came to the motel, they said it was gone. I don't know. I don't understand where the car is.
You mean on the same day?
Within 5 minutes.
Did you move out of your brother's home on reasonable terms?
Yes, ma'am.
You had never had any problem with your brother before?
No.
Huh. No problem with me?
Shh. Don't talk to her. Don't talk to me. Well, Miss Calvo, my problem is I don't understand what would make you think that your brother, who had been nothing but nice to you and your family, would do something like, what year car was this?
An 87.
Would sell your 11-year-old car that probably wasn't worth much, right?
Well, I had just paid, my father bought it for me. He paid $800 for it, plus a van that we traded in. Plus the wheelchair parts is what was expensive. It's a $7,500 wheelchair. I have a picture of the wheelchair that my husband...
Why didn't you leave the wheelchair parts someplace other than a car where that was going to be parked outside for 5 weeks?
We had a lot of things, all our belongings we were moving.
Parts of that wheelchair were at a pawn shop. Part of it were under a beer case of beer.
Where?
In the garage.
Is it still there?
It's a very expensive wheelchair. Her husband is an invalid. He had a stroke, and he has to have a very expensive wheelchair to get around.
Well, then what were the parts to?
That's what I want to know. How can a person be so irresponsible, Your Honor? Forgive me for this interruption, but if the wheelchair is so expensive, why would anyone leave parts scattered here and there?
Because those parts were detachable, and we had sometimes we had to move the wheelchair. We would just move the main part, and some parts just happened to stay in the trunk.
What do you know about this car, Mr. Calvo?
What I know about a car is that according to the city ordinances, you cannot leave any vehicle parked in front of a residential street for a certain period of time, Your Honor, which is why the car is no longer there. When she appeared in Houston to retrieve her vehicle, it was not there, and it could not be there.
How do you know it could not be there?
Because it was removed. I don't know who took it.
Well, when did you first see that it was gone?
About a week, maybe a week and a half before she decided to come up unannounced.
It had been there for about a month then?
Yes. 5 weeks. At the 6th week is when she came unannounced, as I say, called my son on the telephone and said, tell your dad that I'm here to pick up the car, which is her first mistake. You don't make any kind of arrangements with minors. Never. You talk to an adult. Talked to my 11-year-old son and told him, tell your dad that I'm going to go pick up the car.
He's 18.
That's besides the point. You're supposed to talk to me on things like that.
Okay.
It's a very
Whatever.
serious matter.
She spoke to one of your children.
That's right. And I've told him, do never make arrangements with an adult. You're not an adult.
She wasn't making arrangements. She said, I'm coming to pick up my car. Did you have your sister's telephone number where she was living?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
Did you call her and let her know that her car had been moved?
No, I did not.
Why not?
It's not my responsibility, Your Honor.
So you were angry with your sister when she left?
Of course I was angry with her.
When she left?
That's right.
Why were you angry with her when she left?
Because of her behavior.
Like what?
Irresponsible behavior, reckless behavior, abandonment.
Of what?
Of her responsibilities. Many of these things would not have occurred to her had she been a person of serious character, Your Honor. But some of her choice of friends is not very good.
He's going off the track.
No, you say that you left under good circumstances. I'm trying to figure out why your brother...
Because he's money hungry. He always has been. He wants money. What else? Why would he sell my car? He knew I didn't have a car.
Well, but I don't know
did not sell the car, Your Honor.
Where is it?
It's gone. It's probably smashed into a box about the cube, about that small.
Do you have the registration for this car?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You have the registration for this car. So if he sold the car, he would have had to have forged some sort of a document of sale. Do you understand that, Ms. Calvo?
You can sell cars without registration.
How?
People buy them all the time.
Well, did you sell it without a registration?
I didn't sell it without registration. Or with, or without. But I'm telling you that it has been done.
That's helpful. I'm sure it has been done. But it's illegal.
Of course.
How old are you, sir?
40 years old.
Have you ever been in jail?
Yes.
For what?
Traffic tickets.
How long were you in jail for traffic tickets?
Oh, about 24 hours.
Traffic tickets that you didn't pay?
That's right.
Where there were outstanding warrants?
That's right.
When did that happen?
Oh, what's last year, 97?
Prior to that?
I can't remember prior to that.
You can't remember whether you were in jail
I can't remember the year.
But you were in jail prior to that. For what?
For the same thing.
Traffic tickets.
Traffic tickets.
What do you have against paying traffic tickets?
Nothing. When the bills mount up so high, you know, economically it becomes impossible.
When you get them, you're supposed to pay them. That way they don't pile up.
That's a very good fact.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They were not there the day that I left.
What does that have to do with anything?
Who could I
You didn't
leave the keys
entrust
to? Throw them in the tree and just let them hang there? I mean, I had to give
Then
them
you
somebody.
sue the tree.
And later today,
And Mr. Connors then was taking his shower every 8 days. and the toothbrush got wet every 5 days.
Then you left.
The police took him out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Olga Calvo claims her brother, Alberto Calvo, sold her car with parts of her husband's wheelchair inside.
Miss Calvo.
Yes, ma'am.
This is sad, but not a difficult case. You believe that your brother sold your car.
Yes.
He says he didn't sell your car. He's not responsible for your car because you left it out in the street, right?
Yes.
You didn't leave him with any of the indicia of ownership, license, registration. In order for me to believe your theory that he sold it, I would have to believe that he broke the law in selling the car because he sold it, and he had no right to do that because he wasn't the legal owner of the car. So in order to believe you, I have to believe that your brother committed a criminal act. Right?
But I left the car in his care.
Did she leave the keys with you?
She left that car telling my younger son, who is 16, that he can have the car.
That's a
just a second.
Blunt-faced lie.
Just a second. Did he, in fact, your 16-year-old son, take the car?
No, he cannot take the car.
Now, according to you, you did not entrust the keys to the car, if I believed you, to the defendant. You entrusted the keys to the car to his son.
The 18-year-old son.
Whatever. 16, 18.
Okay.
18 doesn't help you out a lot.
Okay.
16 might help you out a little bit, but not 18. So you left the car keys with an 18-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
It is possible that the 18-year-old sold the car. Is that possible?
It's possible, but I doubt it.
But it's possible.
It's possible.
No,
It's
I don't
possible.
appreciate-
Shh. I'm not speaking to you.
Well, I don't appreciate.
I'm not speaking to you. Is it possible that the 18-year-old has the car?
It's possible.
Well, Miss Calvo, if all those things are possible, how can I ultimately find in your favor with regard to your lawsuit against this defendant?
Because I entrusted it to him.
No, you didn't, Miss Calvo. You entrusted it to someone else.
Well, the reason that happened was because they were not there the day that I left.
What does that have to do with
Who
anything?
could I
You
leave
didn't
the
entrust.
keys to? Throw them in the tree and just let them hang there? I mean, I had to give
Then
them
you
somebody.
sue the tree if you throw it in the tree. But right now, you didn't entrust the keys to Mr. Calvo. You entrusted them, according to you, to some 18-year-old, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're suing the wrong person if you have a lawsuit at all. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Well, I think I should have left the keys with one of the adults, and I didn't, so there's no hard feelings.
I'm sorry that she had a traumatic experience. If you would have been there, you would have seen how much she suffered. But she must learn responsibility.
It's okay.
And now the next case.
Parties on Clift versus Connor. Step forward, please.
73-year-old Maddie Cliff is suing her ex-husband, Paul Connors, 65, for the cost of a bed and her share of a joint bank account.
Miss Clift, the defendant is your former husband.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you marry him?
May 95.
And how long did you live together?
Not quite 2 years.
You're suing him for a bid and for part of a joint bank account.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about the bid.
The night we were married, came home, and it started right that night. And I asked him what was wrong. He said nothing. There's 2 women at the wedding who has eyes for me. I'm tired. Good night. He left and went to bed. I slept in the bedroom for a little while, and not very long. If I accidentally touched him, he kicked me. Then there came a time where he got on top of the bed, of the bedspread, if he was out mowing the lawn, and after a few days, it was a whole gray outline on top of the bedspread. I said, it's so much easier to do the sheets, pull the bedspread down. He wouldn't do it. And he would go across the bed so I couldn't get in. So I slept on the floor for 6 weeks with 2 bedspreads. That's all I had. We went out on our anniversary to Rhode Island for shrimp. And because we had a medley of shrimp, I thought I had food poisoning. Because right after that, I couldn't move. I was hurting so bad I didn't know what was wrong with me. I wasn't able to sleep. And finally, I couldn't stand the floor no longer. It was so painful. And Mr. Connors then was taking a shower every 8 days, and the toothbrush got wet every 5 days. He'd sit in front of the TV.
So you bought a bed for you to sleep in, is that
No, he
the-
didn't.
No, you bought a bed for you to sleep in.
I put it in the living room so I could sleep.
So you bought yourself a bed while you were married and you slept in the living room?
Yes.
Now, when you left him, he says you took this bed with you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's get to the joint bank account. How much money did you put into this joint account?
I think at the time I was getting $632, but then I went on his insurance, so I was getting $712.
So you're talking about your Social Security?
Yes.
So
And a
you
small
put your
pension.
Social Security into a joint account, and he put his Social Security into a joint account.
Yes.
And from that, you paid household bills.
I bought all my own food.
No, I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about, you lived in a mobile home? Was that purchased or was it leased?
We purchased it.
So was the mortgage payment made from this joint account?
Yes.
And you had gas and electric and telephone?
Yes.
And all that was paid for out of the joint account?
For a while, yes. Well, yes.
Then you left?
I
Or
didn't leave.
separated? You separated?
The police took him out.
Police took him out?
Yep.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're in the golden years of your life. Have a good time. Stop dwelling in the past.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maddie Cliff is suing her ex-husband, Paul Connors, for the cost of her bed and her share of a joint bank account.
Can I please see the judgment of divorce? The most important section of this says, the personal property of the marriage has been, left out a word here, resolved to the satisfaction of the parties, but the husband shall have his paint, alternator, and other personal property of the husband. The husband shall have access to the shed to remove his personal property, so stated in paragraph 8. You signed this?
Yes. This is the list he made.
I don't care about the list he made. You signed this, and if you weren't satisfied with it, you should not have signed it. But not only did you sign it, you were represented by an attorney when you signed it. Now, Mr. Khanna.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are counterclaiming because you say that when she moved out of the house, she took a whole bunch of property.
She took all the contents of the home, including down to the curtains and the curtain rods, everything within the home she took with her. And along with that, she had threatened and put a letter and sent a letter to my immediate family that was quite detrimental to me.
What kind of letter did she send to your
It's a
family?
5-page letter, Your Honor. I have a copy of it here with me.
Can I see it, please?
Certainly, Your Honor. This was sent to all my immediate family.
All right. Well, Mr. Connors, this letter really just has a whole litany of complaints against you, that you were not a terrific husband and also not very neat.
Yes, Your Honor.
And there was no need, Ms. Cliff, for you to send this kind of letter airing the grievances that you had with regard to your former husband to any of his family. It is not actionable. I mean, the fact that you got chocolate all over the furniture and left crumbs all over the place, and what happened in the bedroom certainly was nobody's business but the two of you. And this was a mistake. Clearly, it was a mistake. I mean, the two of you, probably very nice people who tried to have another relationship, and it just didn't work out. Put a period and get on with your lives. You know, you're in the golden years of your life. Have a good time. Stop dwelling in the past.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
I'm dismissing your complaint. I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Go out, enjoy the rest of your lives, hopefully in peace and separately from each other.
He took all the checking account. Why?
Listen to me. Your judgment of divorce provided in paragraph 8 that all issues of personal property were resolved by the parties. I do not intend to revisit that issue. The Superior Court of the State of Massachusetts ruled on that in a document that you signed and your attorney signed. If you're not happy about it, go back to your attorney. Say to your attorney, I was under duress, it was fraud, whatever it is, I want you to reopen my divorce. But I'll tell you now, Miss Clift, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell, because every other part of this judgment of divorce that I went through was complied with by him. And you're complaining about one of them, the personal property, and I'm telling you that I am not revisiting that. Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
God will get him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's going to suffer.
And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Besmirtnik versus Newsom. Step forward, please.
29-year-old James Besmirtnik says his ex-wife's fiancé, 33-year-old Bob Newsom, hit him in the face and damaged a storm door during a child visitation exchange. Bob Newsom is countersuing for supporting James's daughter.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 226 on the calendar in the matter of Besmirtnik versus Newsom.
Whitebird.
Fine, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Besmirtnik, it appears that you are the father of a child. This is your former wife?
That's correct.
You are the current fiancé of the former wife.
That's true.
Your suit alleges, sir, that this gentleman assaulted you during a visitation with your daughter.
That's correct.
That he hit you in the face, hurt your eye. You are countersuing because you say that you have provided support that the plaintiff was supposed to provide for the child, and because he hasn't been providing that support for the child, you have.
That's true.
When were you divorced from this lady?
I don't remember the actual date. I would say probably around
Give me
June,
a month and a year.
Probably around June of June of 97.
A decade.
June of 97, I believe.
June of 97. And when were you married? What month and year? To her?
December 3rd.
Of what year?
96.
So you were married not for a long time.
Correct.
And your daughter had been born already?
Yes.
When you got married. How old is your daughter? 5?
She's 8 now.
8. You have visitation with her?
Yes, I do.
Is that pursuant to a judgment of divorce?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you arranged for visitation, sir, with your former wife on this particular weekend. And what was the arrangement that you made with your former wife?
The arrangement that her and I had made, we discussed that evening as I was picking my daughter up, that she would be coming back out to pick my daughter up that Sunday, the day the incident occurred.
This was a weekend visitation?
That's correct.
And you spoke to your former wife, and the arrangement was for you to pick your daughter up.
That's correct.
And did you?
Yes, I did.
And that was on Friday or Saturday?
That was on a Friday.
And she was supposed to be returned on Sunday?
That's correct.
What time?
There was really no preset time that her and I discussed. Usually when she came out to pick her up, it was between 6 and 8 o'clock that evening.
And was the formal arrangement that you worked out with your wife, you would pick her up and your former wife would come and get her about 6 or 8 o'clock?
That's correct.
Tell me what happened on this particular weekend.
That Sunday, I had called my ex-wife approximately around 6 p.m. that evening to find out when she was going to be coming out to pick her up, because we were getting ready to make arrangements to have her sit down and eat dinner, and we were going to have her go visit her grandparents for a couple minutes before she said goodbye. Then we were going to bring her back over to my house and for her to pick her up that evening.
About what time?
Well, we never discussed on the telephone what time she was going to be coming out. Just that I had called and asked her if she was still coming out, and at that time when I spoke to her on the phone, she said no.
You said to her, "Are you still coming out?"
Basically,
that's what you just said.
I
Are you
asked
still coming out? And she said no.
That's correct.
And what did you say?
I asked her why, and she said it was because of the fact that I was failure to pay her child support as ordered by the court.
So she said, "You're not paying child support. You pick up the child and bring the child home."
Right.
Is that what you're telling me?
Basically, in a roundabout way, yes.
Okay. So did you?
No. The reason why is because my wife, we were waiting on her ex-boyfriend to bring her son home to our house that evening. We weren't sure of the time when he was going to be there. He had never called to say that he was going to be coming down to drop his son off, and at what time or anything. So at the time we only had one vehicle, and because her ex-boyfriend didn't know where her parents lived or where her sister lived, there'd be no way that he'd be able to drop her off other than at our house.
So he was dropped. Just a second. I'm a little confused here. Your wife's ex-boyfriend was dropping off her son.
Her son, correct.
So what did you need a car for if he was dropping off the son?
To be able to transport my daughter back to their house.
Well, that's what we're talking about. I mean, you had a car that wasn't needed because the other child in your house was being dropped off by that child's father. So you had a car.
Yes.
So why didn't you, when she said, I'm not picking up our daughter, you bring her home, why didn't you just bring her home? So don't give me a lot of excuses that don't make sense, sir. You just got annoyed, right?
No, I wasn't. It had nothing to do with annoyance.
Well, then why didn't you do it?
It's because of the fact that her son, and also because of the fact that she said that we had agreed to, prior to that.
Forget the son. Forget your wife's son. That has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
We just came and put a period to that argument. He was being dropped off. You didn't need a car. You had a car. You could have taken your daughter home. You decided not to take her home. And it was because you say she broke a prior agreement that she would come and pick the child up.
Right.
Is it true you haven't paid child support?
That's correct.
Why not?
Right now I'm still currently unemployed.
How long have you been still currently unemployed?
Since March or April of this year.
And prior to that, what kind of work did you do?
Prior to that, I was a computer repair technician.
Did you pay support in February, sir?
At that time, when I was working, no, there was no payments being made because I wasn't working really that long. I was probably
all
working
right.
for
So when you were working, you weren't paying support, and now that you're not working, you're not paying support. How do you support yourself? What?
Well, through help from my parents, and we're doing odd jobs on the side.
That's right. You can understand why your former wife is annoyed that you're not contributing to your child's support, can't you?
Yes, I do, and I understand that.
Good. Now that we got through with that, now let's get back to this Sunday. So on Sunday, according to these papers, between, say, 10 and 11 o'clock at night, they did show up to pick up your daughter.
That's correct.
Tell me what happened.
From where they live, from work to my house, it's roughly about an hour drive. And about 9 o'clock, I waited. No arrival, no phone call. 10 o'clock, same thing. So about 10:30, I had set my security alarm and was prepared to take my daughter to bed when about 11 o'clock, I received a knock on the door. I turned off the alarm, walked over to the door. There's my ex-wife at the door, and she said, where's my daughter? I woke her up. She gathered her things together, put her in the car, came back to the house, and basically words were exchanged, and that's when the door was kicked.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Once I am employed, which will...
You are employed!
And until
you just let somebody else take your pay.
Right, in October.
Right, I know right.
October.
I know right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Besmertnik claims his ex-wife's fiancé, Bob Newsom, hit him in the face for no reason.
Now let's hear about this assault, sir.
Words were exchanged.
With whom?
Actually between myself, my ex-wife, and with the defendant. And that's when he came over to me and hit me in the eye.
And you weren't doing anything?
No. I did nothing to provoke it.
Do you have a doctor's report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. You paid $5 for these visits, sir, out of total charges that were much more than that. Do you have some sort of insurance?
No.
Well, how do you pay for these visits?
My wife was the one that wrote the checks for those visits.
Does your wife have health insurance?
The only insurance that she has is medical insurance through, I believe, Franklin County.
Does she receive welfare?
Yes.
She get food stamps?
No.
How does she support herself?
Right now, she is working until the baby's born. She's working for my father.
She's working for your father doing what?
Delivering automotive parts.
So what you're trying to tell me, sir, is that your wife works and you don't?
No, she's the one that volunteered.
No. What you're telling me
that's
is
correct.
your wife works for your father.
That's correct.
Off the books.
That I don't know.
Of course you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, your wife works for your father off the books. She collects some sort of welfare, and you do nothing. You don't work for your father. She must have a better relationship with your father than you do.
Well, actually, I do help him out, but he doesn't pay me. He pays her.
All designed to avoid your child support.
No.
Well, it certainly is successful in avoiding your child support, sir, because if you were working for your father on the books and he was paying you instead of paying your wife for work you did, the state would come in and take out some money and pay your former wife some child support. Isn't that a fair statement?
That is correct.
Perfect. I think I was born yesterday. Huh?
But you stayed up all night, right?
Yeah, right. Thank you, Bert. That was good. All right, Mr. Newsom, tell me just about the assault, sir. I'm ready to hear your version of the assault.
Okay. We got to the house. We were at the front door. Mrs. Besmertnik advised us that we were not going to take the child.
You mean his present wife?
Yes, Sherry.
Okay.
She informed us that we were not taking Brittany. We might as well go on back to Zanesville because we couldn't have her. I grabbed a hold of the door. She grabbed a hold of the door from the inside. And when I kicked the bottom of the door, it bent the bottom of the door in. I pulled the door open, told Vicky to go in and get her child and put her in the car. Sherry was arguing with us about the child support, told us we had no right to expect child support. It was a privilege and not a right. Some words were exchanged. We did get an argument. James started yelling some profanities at Vicky, his ex-wife. I kind of tried to get between them because I didn't want anything to happen. He went over to the corner of his living room, got a walking stick type of a crooked looking stick thing, come across the living room at me with it and said, "I'll take care of this," picked up the stick like he was going to hit me with it, and I hit him in the eye.
Were you present?
Yes.
Step up here. Tell me what you saw at the time of the assault.
I had just come back in the house, and Sherry was still standing at the door, and he was standing on the other side of the living room. Him and I began to argue, and her and
What were you arguing about?
About that day when I talked to him on the phone. I told him, I'm not coming to get her. As long as I'm providing all necessities, he can at least provide his own visitation.
His own transportation?
His own transportation for the visitation.
That sounds right to me.
Well, we were arguing about that, and I told him, I said, next time...
you don't have to get up early to go to work in the morning, right? Go ahead.
So, him and I were arguing, and him and I were ready to fight.
Okay.
And that's when those two got into it. He stepped in between us, and he walked over and he got the stick. And he was calling me some horrible names, calling him some horrible names, and he hit him.
Okay. Tell me about this support that you provide for Brittany, Mr. Newsom.
I was carrying her on my health insurance, taking her to doctor's visits, taking her to dentist visits.
Your judgment of divorce provide that you're supposed to pay 50% of the child's unreimbursed medical expenses?
That I don't know. It just says that both of us, either one of us, has to get medical insurance to cover our daughter.
And the one who provides it, the other one has to pay half.
That's correct.
You've left that out. You leave out everything, sir, that involves you paying. So how much have you paid?
The medical coverage, when they approached me and informed me about medical coverage, I had asked my ex-wife, I said, could you make me a copy of the medical bills? Because I'm not going to take her word on the monetary value at face value unless I could see actual documented proof that that's how much the medical bills cost.
And then you're prepared to pay them?
Once I am employed, which will
You are employed!
And until
you just let somebody else take your pay.
Right, in October.
Right, I know right.
October.
I know right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your daughter was expecting you those weekends.
Yes.
And you just didn't show up.
That's correct.
Oh, you are some winner.
Closed captioning. James Bismartnik wants his ex-wife's fiancé, Bob Newsom, to pay for hitting him in the face and destroying a storm door. Bob wants James to pay him for supporting his daughter.
At the time these bills were paid, you personally paid for these bills, sir. Not your fiancé. You paid for them. Is that
I paid for them because she was only working part-time.
You're a nice guy. You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have a 9-year-old and we have a 2-year-old.
Do you support your 9-year-old?
Yes, I do. Every week.
You current in your child support?
Yes, I am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an automotive technician.
Oh, where's the trusty calculator part? Do me a favor, sir. Would you add up these bills that are just marked for Brittany? Okay? Thank you. You seem to indicate in your answer that the plaintiff comes irregularly for visitation.
Yes.
Is that true, sir, that you come irregularly to pick up your daughter for visitation?
Every Friday was one, or every other Friday was when I'm supposed to pick her up.
That's not what I asked you. I know when you're supposed to pick her up according to you. Do you come every other Friday to pick your daughter up for visitation?
Yes, I do. Unless we had agreed that they were going to keep her that weekend to take her someplace or have something special planned for her that weekend, then another arrangement would be made.
So according to you, there have been no weekends when you've disappointed the child by not showing up?
No, not that I remember.
Is that correct?
He has not. He saw her for 5 days in July. Prior to that, he had not seen her since April, and visitation prior to that point was sporadic at best.
What happened between
maybe once
April
every
and
couple
July,
months?
sir?
April and July, basically, there was a conflict between my ex-wife and I, and rather than try to go out there and deal with another argument or deal with the situation, I decided it would be best for my daughter not to see that argument, and decided not to be there to pick her up.
And how did you communicate that to your daughter, who's 8 years old?
I didn't.
So as far as you knew, your daughter was expecting you those weekends?
Yes.
And you just didn't show up?
That's correct.
Oh, you are some winner.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Okay. Being a judge requires evaluating people's credibility. Credibility comes in many forms. One of the things that we look to is common sense. Common sense, and whether a witness has been perfectly candid and forthcoming in other testimony, which I find you have not been, sir. It sounds to me as if you are a classic example of a deadbeat father who had a child who chooses not to support that child, and whatever money that you are going to make from now on is going to go to your new family. That's a decision that clearly you made, and it's clearly a decision that your wife made. I say that because the facts are evident. They came out of your own mouth after some prodding that you do in fact work. You probably are employed on a full-time basis. You work for your father off the books, and whatever money is supposed to be paid to you is paid to your wife in order to avoid your child support. So that all sounds to me pretty devious and underhanded. Therefore, I don't believe your story that out of the blue he came over and socked you in the eye. I think that in all probability you did pick up a stick or something in your house, and while you may not have hit him with it first, he had cause to believe that you were about to assault him and defended himself, so I'm dismissing your lawsuit. Now, on your counterclaim, you have a responsibility to support your daughter. That's what the law says. It's the law, and it's also the right thing to do. You, on the other hand, Mr. Newsom, do not have an obligation to support this child. And I believe that you are entitled to be compensated for what you have actually spent for the child, which comes to $532. So on your counterclaim, sir, I am awarding you $532. And you, sir, goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Ruder versus Hicks. Step forward, please.
Account manager Ronald Ruder is suing his ex-wife, Laura Hicks, and his son, Adam, 15, for the return of his computer.
Order. All rise. This is case number 298 on the calendar in the matter of Ruder versus Hicks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Young man, why don't you have a seat, please? Mr. Ruder, you and the defendant had been married. You are divorced for many years now. How many children did you have?
One.
And this is your son?
That's correct.
Whose name is?
Adam.
According to your complaint, Adam had been living with you for several years.
Correct.
And there came a time recently when he decided to move back to his mother's home.
That's correct.
And when he left, he took your computer.
That's correct.
Without your permission.
That's correct.
You want it back.
He called me up and asked me if he could have the computer, and I said no. I understand that you want it, but it's my computer. It's a very expensive computer.
Okay, let me stop you right there. How long had he been living with you?
About 5 years.
Why did he decide to move back with his mother?
We had a falling out. He was failing freshman year in high school. I was trying to encourage him, perhaps probably pressuring him too much, to do better, to work, and try to do better, because it's going to make a big difference later on. And he was not getting it. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. Basically, he failed 4 out of 6 classes in freshman, and then got him signed up for summer school to make up some of those classes.
This past summer?
That's right. And then after 3 days, he quit that and decided to go live with his mother, saying that, well, if nothing else, I can always get my GED.
And it was from his mother's house that he called you and said, I want the computer?
That's correct.
And you told him you can't have it?
That's right. And the conversation went something like this. He called me up and said, look, Dad, I'd really like to have the computer. And I said, no, you can't have it. I have another computer, a smaller one, that you can have. If you want to take that, go ahead. But you cannot have the big one. And then he said, geez, Dad, thank you very much for letting me have the computer, and hung up the phone before I had a chance to answer. So I think that was on purpose, so the people on the other end on the other side of the conversation could hear him say thank you for letting me have the computer, and thinking that I had given it to him, which I did not. When I got home from work that day, the computer was gone. I immediately called my ex, Laura, to tell her
so
that
you
there was a
called
mistake.
your ex at that point, and you told her what?
I told her there's a mistake. I did not authorize Adam to take the computer. It was my computer. If he wants to have the smaller computer, he can have it. And she says something to the effect, well, it's between me and him. I don't want to get in the middle of it. Besides, if he doesn't have a computer here, they live living in a one-bedroom house or apartment at that point, that he'll go crazy if he doesn't have that computer.
Let me stop you there. All right, Ms. Hicks, I just have some very direct questions for you. Were you present when he spoke to his father on the phone?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And the conversation went, Dad, can I have the computer? And from what you heard, the answer was?
He told me that Ron told him, well, if you give me back the VCR that you brought from the house, which I guess it used to be in Adam's room or something, and a portable, handle stereo, you can have the computer.
So you went back. I assume you brought back those things.
Yes, we did.
And picked up the computer.
Yes, ma'am.
He let himself into his father's house.
Right, and I waited in the driveway.
Now, that day, did you receive a call from your former husband?
After we got back home, yes.
And he said what to you?
He said that he wants his computer back, and I said it was my understanding that you told Adam that if he brought the VCR and the stereo back, that he could have the computer. And, this is between you and Adam. Because he says that's the computer that you bought for him.
But he did call immediately.
After he got home from work.
And then I assume you spoke to your son.
Yes, I did. Well, I think that he spoke to Adam on the phone first, but...
How old are you, Adam?
15 and 10 months.
You had a conversation with your father about the computer?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about your version of the conversation.
Well, I talked to him.
Now look at me.
Oh, I asked him if I could get the computer. We just kind of went back and forth.
What do you mean you went kind of back and forth?
I said to him that I need the computer for school work, and I need because there are a bunch of things that I can do on it, word processing and things.
And he said to you?
Well, he said no, I use it for work, and we kind of went back and forth.
No, I got that far. The back and forth is the part, Adam, that.
Sorry.
And look here.
All right.
So he said no.
Yeah, and he said I need it for work.
And he said I need it for work, and you said.
I said, what do you need the faster computer for work for? All he basically wants it for is so he can play his game that he likes to play all the time.
Okay.
And because he does spreadsheets, he's an accountant, and he can do that on the slower computer just as good.
Is that what you told him?
Yeah, I mean he used to.
Okay, so you told your father that he could use the slower computer to do his spreadsheets, and he said to you what?
He said, I bought both of them, so, I own them, they're mine. And
and you said?
I just kind of asked, well, can I have the computer? He's like, yeah, sort of. And then I'm like, thanks, Dad, and just kind of hung up on him. That's kind of how it went, yeah, basically. And, but I hadn't gotten the computer at that time. I'm kind of nervous.
Just a minute. So then it was pretty much like, as you said, like your father said. He said you can have the older computer that's slower,
yeah,
but not the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got off the phone, Adam. Your mother was there, and you told your mother, Dad said I could have the computer. Would you take me over and get it?
Well, actually, no, I did not. We did not get the computer at that time.
When did you get it? The next day?
No, like a week later, when I had called him back again.
Okay, so you called him back again.
Yes.
Actually, I think they had several phone conversations within that week before he actually said to him, well, when he got off the phone and said, he said, if I take the VCR and the stereo back.
Don't take what he says as gospel.
That's why I'm saying.
Right.
He told me that.
He's doing some fancy footwork here.
I think his father's doing some fancy footwork.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Doesn't say stupid here.
Nor here.
Would you give away $12,000 that you didn't know? No. And he's not stupid.
Cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald Reuter says he made it clear to his son Adam that he could not have the computer. Adam says his dad changed his mind during a phone call.
Point of the matter is, Miss Hicks, when his father came home from work, he didn't wait a day or a week or a month to say, well, now I want my computer back. He immediately called you and said, hey, listen, there's been some kind of mistake here. I told him he could have the old computer, but he came in and took the new computer. So clearly there was no understanding between the two of them on that day. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I mean, it's logical. Nothing happened between the two of you between the time he got off the phone with his father and he went over to get, with your assistance, the computer. I mean, you said to me his father was at work. I mean,
can I say something?
Sure.
Your Honor. For the last 2 years, it has been one thing after another, okay, since I filed for back child support.
You say that in your answer. You say that it's been problems.
Yeah, I mean, he has gone out of his way to make our life miserable.
That's terrible.
And let me just tell you, what he was saying about Adam failing school and then he quit summer school. When I filed for the back child support at the very, like 2.5 years ago, whenever it was, the reason I did, after many months of talking to Ron, was I felt that Adam needed to be tested. He was having a lot of difficulty, like 7th grade, 6th, 7th grade, his grades kept going down, okay? I felt that he was having problems and he needed to be tested. I wanted to get him tested. Okay. I wanted Ron to help pay for that. Okay, so no, it's not immaterial because that's the reason why he was failing. As the next year he did less. the next year, which was last year, he did fail. I then, when he was failing, got him tested at Huntington Learning Center. He had a reading disability. His grade level was like, you know, 5th or 6th grade in reading, and a little bit higher than that in math. He's gone to over 70 hours of tutoring since the beginning of summer, which he was already doing before he quit summer school.
Ms.
Okay?
Hicks,
and what I'm trying to say is...
well, then say it.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that you're trying to do the right thing.
Yes, but this is what I'm saying, is that one thing after another he has done because he's been angry, because he didn't want to pay the child support arrears.
And if that's true, Ms. Hicks, if that's true...
Yes.
And if he owes child support, that's outrageous.
I have a judgment.
And now, according to your papers, you were supposed to appear in court just a few days ago. I assume you got your judgment for back arrears. Is that right?
No, Your Honor. It hasn't been set aside yet, but there's other litigation going on. I do not owe it. I'm trying to settle now for $12,000, and she will not do that.
Just a second. If you're trying to settle, sir, listen to me.
Yes.
If you're trying to settle for $12,000, that in and of itself is outrageous to owe $12,000. Because if you say, I don't owe $30,000, but I owe $12,000, even that's outrageous. So
well, Your Honor, I don't owe $12,000, as a matter of fact.
Well,
but I am willing to settle it to get it off the case, to get on with our lives. So that is what I'm willing to do.
Just listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. Doesn't say stupid here. Nobody.
Nor here.
Well, it would say stupid there if you don't owe $12,000 and you're willing to settle for $12,000. Would you give away $12,000 that you didn't know? No. And he's not stupid, believe me. But that's not what this is about. Ms. Hicks, I understand that you may have frustration with him over child support. This is not what this is about. This is about one issue. It's unfortunate that it comes here to court, but logic, common sense, and the timing of the events suggests to me that there was no agreement between your son and his father that he could come and take the high-powered computer from the house. I say that to you, Ms. Hicks, because as soon as your former husband came home from work, he called you and said, listen, I didn't give him permission to take that computer. And nothing happened in that intervening 24-hour period. You know, if you said to me, listen, Judge, this is what happened in that 24-hour period. I got it. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. You seem to be winning. Why don't you be quiet?
Good point. Thank you.
If you were to say to me, Ms. Hicks, that in that 24-hour period, he gave him permission to take the computer, then he got served with a summons for child support arrears that day, got angry, called you and said, he can't have the computer anymore. There was a misunderstanding. And I could say, well, there was an intervening event that maybe ticked him off. But that's not what happened. He had already been advised that you were suing for child support arrears, so that nothing happened in that 24-hour period, nothing except that he went to work. And he went to work, he comes home, he finds no computer. Immediately, according to you. Picked up the phone and called you and said, bring it back. And you should have brought it back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He called the police to have him arrested.
Sir, that's outrageous.
But I did not send the police over.
Well, what'd you expect them to do? Send them a card?
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Ronald Reuter wants his ex-wife and his son to return his computer. Adam says his dad gave it to him.
You look like you're dying to say something.
Yes, Your Honor. May I?
I want to know if you have. I'm not interested in your feelings, sir.
I know.
I'm interested in facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
So then stand up and tell me who you are.
My name is Bob Lipman, and I am married to Laura Hicks. When Adam brought those things over there in exchange for the computer, I heard all the phone conversations.
Just a second. You mean you will? Are you telling me, Mr. Lipman?
Yes.
Are you telling me you were listening into the conversation, or you heard his part of the conversation?
I heard his part, and when Mr. Reuter showed up with the police, I heard it live. He called the police to have him arrested.
I did not.
You did twice.
Just a second. Did you call the police?
I had the police. My next option was to file a report, a missing item report.
Sir, that's outrageous.
But no, wait a minute. Wait, Your Honor. I did not file. I could have had him arrested for stolen property. I did not do that. I did not do that. I did not want to do that. I love my son. There's no way I'm going to do that. It was a misunderstanding. I had the police come with me, escort me over there to ask for the property back. That was an option I had. It was a legal option. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to storm.
Just a second.
You're
absolutely right, sir.
One other point, if I may.
My mouth is moving.
One other point, if I may.
I didn't stop moving. It may have been an option. It was an option that you should have rejected as soon as it filtered into your brain. You should have said, I'm not calling the police and indicating that my son came without my permission to take property. It wasn't missing property. You knew exactly where it was.
Yep.
So it's an option that any reasonable parent would not have taken to send the police over.
I did not send the police over.
Well, what'd you expect them to do? Send them a card? Say, please return the computer to
All
local
I was trying to do
police
is do it
department?
within the legal ramifications that are available to me, and that was one of them, and it seemed very reasonable to me at the time. I'm not trying
I'm here to tell you that it was not reasonable. That's a legal option, but one that you need not necessarily exercise. So, say nothing else.
Okay.
There was clearly not an understanding between father and son with regard to this computer. Not an understanding that I'm happy that was established to my satisfaction. We understand each other, Adam?
No, because I believe that there actually was an event that happened in between the 24 happened in between the time.
I'll hear you.
I believe that is when my report card came from summer school, or the call came from summer school saying that I had dropped out, and he was very mad.
How do you know that Adam?
Yeah.
How do you know that came in that 24-hour period?
I believe he called me.
Yeah, he called on the phone. I forgot about that too.
Just a second. He called on the phone when?
I think it was right when he got home.
You mean when he got home and found his computer missing?
I think the two things happened at the same time, and I don't believe that there is any show between which one empowered him to call.
Did you get his report card that day?
No, it was the day before.
It was the day before.
It would have been a Monday. He took it on a Tuesday.
When your former husband called and spoke to your son and then spoke to you on the day that you actually took the computer, he said to you, return the computer, right?
Yes, but he said, I think there's been a misunderstanding between Adam and I. And
okay.
Yeah. But this was also the same day, earlier in the day, actually, he called from work and said he was angry because Adam hadn't gone to summer school. And
did he speak to you?
Yes, ma'am.
He spoke to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So just a
And
second.
he talked
Hold it. It gets even better.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Party's on. Bigelow versus Ledger. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Sarah Bigelow says her former best friend, Alicia Ledger, also 17, assaulted her, ripping 3 fingernails off. Alicia says it was a fair fight over concert tickets.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 293 on the calendar in the matter of Bigelow versus Ledger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have seats, please.
Miss Bigelow, you and Miss Ledger had been good friends. Is that right?
Yeah.
Your complaint is that she assaulted you, that it was an unprovoked assault and you were injured. You wanted to pay for all your medical bills as well as the pain and suffering that you sustained.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me how this happened?
Well, me and my boyfriend had bought tickets to go to a concert, and we decided to sell her a ticket because she was going to go with me instead of him, because she was my best friend. We ended up getting in a lot of arguments, and we decided we weren't going to be friends anymore. So I talked with her, and we agreed that she was going to sell the ticket back to me because she had paid $30 for it. But in the meantime, she had borrowed $20 off of us. Her and her boyfriend had borrowed $20 from us. So she was our friend. So I had talked to her, and I told her that since she had owed us $20, I would give her $10, and she could give me the ticket, and that would be even.
Miss Bigelow, don't make things up as you go along.
I'm not.
Okay? Because your complaint doesn't say anything about you discussed with her the $20. As a matter of fact, said something about the $20 was owed to your boyfriend, not to you. So you never discussed the $20 with her, that you were taking it off.
Yes, I did.
Did she?
When we discussed it, she told me she would pay me $30 for the ticket. The debt was between my boyfriend and her boyfriend. It had nothing to do with me. So she decided she would give me $30. When I wasn't home, she sent her niece over and exchanged the ticket for the $10.
All right. So then you got the ticket back, right?
Yep.
For the $10.
Yep.
And then what happened?
And then me and my mother and my boyfriend arrived at my house, and there was a police officer there, and she just came over to the car and dragged me out and started beating on me.
And what happened to you as a result of this beating?
I got 3 of my fingernails ripped off because I had these acrylic nails on, and they ripped back and ripped my nails off. And also when the officer was pulling her off of me, she kicked me in my head.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
Okay. When I found out what happened with the ticket, I called her.
When you found out that she picked up the ticket from your house,
right, when I
and
went
only
home,
left $10, what did you do?
I called her because she was at her boyfriend's house. I called her and I said, "What's going on?" And she was like, "You wait and we'll deal with it when I get there." So I waited at her house. I called my boyfriend and let him know what was going on. He called the police so they could solve it without, anything happening. So I was waiting there with the police. When she pulled up, we both grabbed each other and started fighting.
Could I say something?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to do this, but you can go over there.
When there was a debt between me and him that I owed him money, but it was and I was buying a ticket for her for an Easter present, and I had given the ticket for her for a present. And then when they left the $10,
Listen to this. I'm not interested in that.
all right, when they left the $10 at the house, then I was at my house babysitting my sister, and I couldn't go nowhere to find out what was
I'm
going on.
not interested in
So I
that. What
called
is
the
your name?
police.
What's your name?
Matt
Matt what?
Betancourt.
Mr. Betancourt. What city do you live in?
Fitchburg,
Where is that?
Massachusetts.
They must have a very, very large police department that has nothing to do. Because quite frankly, the thing that I found most appalling is that the two of you called the police to meet you at a location, took them away from important business over $20.
Yeah.
No,
But it wasn't only over that. It was because that she was
had me
mad.
jumped before. Okay.
Just a second.
So
I heard about that there was a jumping by an old boyfriend, but she wasn't with that boyfriend anymore. This is a court. I don't go into all that extraneous stuff. What I don't understand is this was over $20. You called the police as if it was an emergency. What did you tell the police when you called them, sir?
I told them that they were ripping us off and that she was really angry and I was afraid something might happen, that they should go down there before something does.
Okay. So when you called police, you told them that you were getting ripped off, but it was a civil case.
Yeah.
You told them that you owed $20 and that you were afraid what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because your girlfriend was really angry.
Yes.
Were you lying to the police?
No.
Were you telling the police the truth?
Yeah.
So your girlfriend was really angry.
Yeah.
And you were afraid what was going to happen if the police weren't there.
Yeah. She didn't get ripped
now,
off.
Very good. Now you can sit down.
All right.
Perfect. Did your job. Stand up. You're Mrs. Bigelow?
Yes.
You're her mother?
Yes.
So tell me what happened when you arrived at your house.
When I arrived at my house, we turned into the street. There was a cruiser parked there. Alicia was on our lawn, came running to the car, punched Sarah through the window. And then next thing I know, the two girls were out on the lawn, and she was beating on my daughter. 2 other cruisers arrived and pried the girls apart. And Sarah had her fingernails ripped off and was kicked in the face, and they called an ambulance.
Go ahead.
The window was rolled up, for one thing. And it was. She opened the door and we started fighting.
What did you go up to the car for? Huh? What did you go up to the car for? You had the police there. You go over to the police and you say to the police.
I told them what happened.
No. You walked up to the car. If you weren't interested in a confrontation, you wouldn't have walked up to the car. You would have stayed back with the police. There was a cruiser there, and you would say, could you please help me? This is a problem over $20, and in all probability, they would say to you, young lady, go home. This is a civil matter. Don't be here. You didn't
told me
even
to
wait
wait
for the
there.
police to come in so that they could separate you. You went barging up right to the car.
The police were there the whole time, waiting with me.
The police didn't walk up to the car with you. Right?
Right.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Young girls sometimes get very hot about former friendships, especially when boys get in the middle. Right?
Right.
Well, that's dumb.
And later today,
You went to the concert,
Yes, we did.
but then you had a surprise when you were there.
Jerry Seinfeld came out and he said that the jokes were on him.
He must have a lot of money.
real cases, real people, Judge Judy. Two former best friends, Sarah Bigelow and Alicia Ledger, were fighting over money paid for concert tickets. Sarah wants medical bills, plus pain and suffering for Alicia ripping out 3 of Sarah's fingernails.
Now, Miss Bigelow, you did a real stupid thing. Really stupid. You knew it was wrong to send over the $10 instead of the $30. You knew it was wrong, and if you didn't know it was wrong, I'm here to tell you you were wrong. Your mother will probably, I hope, will tell you that you were wrong. She was wrong. She got involved with these 2 buttes over here and what they owed each other. Right?
Right.
Well, that's dumb. And I can understand that you were angry. I really can. I can understand that you felt as if she didn't give you what she was supposed to give you. You used to be friends. Young girls sometimes get very hot about former friendships, especially when boys get in the middle.
Can I say something? I did not tell her to wait at my house.
I didn't say that to you.
No, I know.
I
but
said
she
you
said
were
that.
wrong for dropping off $10 and taking the ticket when she expected $30. That doesn't excuse your behavior.
I know, and I understand.
And you were hot. And you were hot even after you spoke to her because the answer that she gave you was not one that was satisfactory, as a result of which your boyfriend called the police, and according to him, he said, you better be there because my girlfriend is very hot and very angry and I don't know what's going to happen. Right? How much out-of-pocket expense did you have? Did any insurance cover this?
Yep, some of them, not the ambulance bill.
How much was the ambulance?
$322.50.
And the rest of the bills were covered?
There's a copay, Your Honor.
Well, the copay is 25, 25, and 25. So that's $75. So your total out-of-pocket expenses were, according to this, $397.50. The ambulance and the copays. All right. How long were you bandaged? I saw some pictures of you bandaged.
For about 4 months.
Your hand?
Yeah.
Is that from where the nails were ripped off?
Yeah.
They had to reinsert her fingernails back in because they were afraid that they wouldn't grow back because they had been pulled out at the roots. So they had to reinsert the nails, but because the acrylic was attached to her real nail,
They had to leave them
they
on.
had to leave them on. She was in a splint for a good 4 months.
You want to say
This just happened about 6 months ago, and a couple weeks after, I kept seeing her on the street. She would give me the finger with that hand, yelling at me, screaming at me, you know. She didn't have any bandages on her
Okay.
hand a couple weeks later.
We're talking here about something that caused a lot of pain.
I know, but if she's
a lot of pain, you have to pay for what you did. You don't do something like that over a $20 bill. You try to hold on to your temper.
And I know that, but the fight was mutual. Yeah.
No. She didn't go to your house. You went to her
We were
house.
next
You went to
door
her house. Hey, I'm not going to repeat myself. Your boyfriend called the police because he was concerned because you were so angry. And when she pulled up in the car, you couldn't even wait to have the police actually there to resolve the issue. You went running up to the car. And you were so hot that you couldn't even control yourself. Well, you better learn to control yourself. You suing for $2,000?
Yes.
You got it. Judgment for the plaintiff. And that's
Thank you, Your Honor.
$2,000.
Thank you very
Pardon
much.
the excuse. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
Her friendship wasn't really worth any of the problems.
I would never want to be her friend again. It wasn't worth it in the first place.
She does nothing but cause trouble.
And now the next case.
Parties on Young versus Adams. Step forward, please.
James Young bought Jerry Seinfeld concert tickets from Mark Adams. Seinfeld announced everyone would get their money back. The defendant, Mark Adams, got credit on his charge card, and the plaintiff, James Young, got stuck paying.
2 Jerry Seinfeld fans.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. Yes.
You, Mr. Adams, purchased, fortunately for you, 2 of the best seats in the house
That's right.
for Jerry Seinfeld's concert.
That's correct.
And then something came up in your private life, and you couldn't go.
That's correct.
So what did you do?
I ran an ad in the local newspaper, and Mr. Young responded and bought the tickets from me.
So far correct?
So far.
And you charged him exactly what you paid for the tickets.
Well, I charged him what I paid for the tickets plus the cost of the ad that ran in the newspaper.
That sounded fair, right?
Yes.
How much was the total?
$150, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Within a few pennies.
And you paid how much for the tickets, sir?
I paid $66 for each ticket, plus this is the receipt for the ad that was run in the paper.
You went to the concert.
Yes, we did.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, we did.
But then you had a surprise when you were there.
That's correct.
What was the surprise?
When we went to the concert, Jerry Seinfeld came out and he said that the jokes were on him, and he said he was going to give us our money back for the tickets. So
he must have a lot of money.
I think so.
I think so too.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Morally, I should give him the money back. Legally, I'm not so sure. Which means that the law, sir, is an ass.
Cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Young bought Jerry Seinfeld concert tickets from Mark Adams. Seinfeld announced everyone would get their money back. The defendant got credit on his charge card, and the plaintiff got stuck paying.
So what did you do?
On Monday, my wife, Deb, took the tickets back, and we ran into a problem. I think my wife can explain.
When I took the tickets back to Ticketmaster, they told me that they could tell by the tickets that they had been charged and my account would be automatically credited. Then I explained to them that my husband had bought them out of the newspaper, and they said that we would have to go back to whomever we purchased them from to get the money.
So, Mr. Adams, you are in now the fortunate position of having received the $150 from the plaintiff for the tickets.
That's correct.
Which made you whole.
That's correct.
And you also got $132 credited to your account
That's
for the
correct.
tickets.
That's correct.
So now you're whole plus $132.
That's right.
And Mr. Young says that $132 should actually be his.
That's what he said.
Because he was the one who purchased the tickets. He was the one who went to the concert. So I would like you to explain to me your defense, sir.
Well, my defense is that when Mr. Young bought the tickets from me, we established an oral contract. He agreed to buy the tickets for the purpose of going to see Jerry Seinfeld. So when Jerry announced the tickets were free, that doesn't fall within the parameters of the original oral contract.
Which was just for him to go to see the show.
Go see the show, correct.
And you honestly, in your heart and mind, believe... I'm just asking you. Before we go at it, Mr. Adams, I'm just asking you whether in your heart and mind you believe that that is a legitimate defense to his lawsuit.
From a legal standpoint, yes, I do believe it is a legitimate defense. It may not be a moral defense, but you know, if he went to the show, he has a hole also because he saw the show. So, you know, where do we split the money?
Let us assume he went to the Jerry Seinfeld show on tickets that he purchased from you.
Right.
And instead of Jerry Seinfeld coming out and saying, look, the tickets are free, he said, I want everybody in the theater to look under their seat.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever has a big money sign under their seat gets a brand new truck.
Okay.
And Mr. Young looks under the seat. Lo and behold, he's got the Jerry Seinfeld money sign under his seat. Who has a right to the truck?
I suppose Mr. Young does.
Why is that?
It was under his seat.
It was under his seat that he purchased from you. So he got a little bit more than he bargained for.
Exactly.
Well, under the scenario, Mr. Adams, that we have here, it's the exact same thing. He got a gift. He purchased your interest in those tickets. And whatever flowed from that, including our imaginary truck, or the gift of these tickets are free.
Mm-hmm.
And under your theory, you should get your money and this little extra bonus. So, Mr. Adams.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Your Honor.
Well, you want to try again to explain it to me? Maybe you can convince me, Mr. Adams.
I'm saying, isn't there a happy medium here? I mean, he already has the whole.
You mean like
plus
being a little bit pregnant?
He wants the show for free.
Right.
He wants the show plus the money.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what would have happened if you went to the show.
But that didn't fall under the original
Just a
oral
second.
contract.
No, what you're saying is you had an oral contract with him which said you go to the show and that's it. And that wasn't your oral contract. He said, here are the tickets. You're buying the tickets. And you want a happy medium. You say, I'll split the money with you. Is that what you're saying to me? Isn't there a happy medium?
Well, perhaps, yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy.
What you said before, sir, was very telling. You said before, I believe I have the right legal position. It may not be the right moral position.
Exactly.
But it's the right legal position.
Okay.
And I like to believe that whatever is right morally is also right legally. That's what's wrong with this country's legal system. We've engrafted too many little problems onto the law, which makes it less moral than it should be. So if in your head and heart you say, this is the moral right thing to happen, morally I should give him the money back. Legally, I'm not so sure, which means that the law, sir, is an ass. Did you ever hear that expression?
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
Well, it's an unfortunate expression. And in this court, the law is not an ass. So, judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $132, which is the amount that your credit card was credited for this free concert. Good going, Jerry Seinfeld. Thank you.
Thank you. Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All parties on Higbee versus Bonani. Step forward, please.
George and Johanna Higbee say their late friend's son, 30-year-old Silvano Bonani, won't allow them possessions promised by his departed father's wife. Silvano says the things mean a lot to him.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 278 on the calendar in the matter of Higbee versus Bonani. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Higbee, according to your complaint, you purchased a house in 1985, and you were next-door neighbors to the defendant, his father, and then a stepmother, because your father was married sometime after 1985 to your stepmother. Yes, is that right, sir?
That's correct.
This past year, your father died.
Correct.
And his will left everything to your stepmother, a life estate in the house, and after she was no longer here, the will provided that the house and other property went to you.
Correct.
The stepmother decided shortly after your father's death to move back to where she originally came from, which was, I think, Illinois.
Correct.
And she decided to transfer the house over to you.
Correct.
And then you come in. You were assisting her in packing up her things, loading up her stuff, and you claim that there was an agreement that you had certain property that she left behind, that when you took control of the house, you took. You didn't list what property that was.
Everything that was left.
Well, Ms. Higbee, that's what you say, but I need a witness to testify that this property was actually gifted to you, and that the only witness that could be would be his stepmother.
Right.
And she is sitting right here, ma'am.
Perfect. So, why don't you step up? Your name is Ms.
Margaret Bonani.
Mrs. Bonani. You decided to move back to Illinois, where I assume your family and...
Yes, ma'am.
Your family is. Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
And they're all in Illinois?
Most of them.
These people were good to you, I assume, which is why
Very
you decided to leave them some property.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a list of that property?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I see?
As best we can remember. And I suspect there was more there, but I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, it's a laundry list of stuff. Now, my question is, Mrs. Bonani, did you, in fact, tell Junior Do you mind if I call you Junior?
That's fine.
What property you were, in fact, leaving for the Higbees?
I didn't tell him, but they all knew everything that wasn't Junior's belonged to them. After.
Just a second. How would he know that?
Oh, he knew what I left him.
Well, I know he knew what you left him because according to these papers that I see, there were certain items that he purchased from you.
Yes, ma'am.
The things that you sold, and I was sort of curious about that, the things that you sold to Junior, why didn't you just give to him?
Your Honor, he pressured me into these things.
No, what I'm asking you is not pressuring. What I'm asking you is there were certain things that had belonged to his father
Yes.
and his mother that certainly had more, if any, sentimental value for him than they did for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Why wouldn't you just give them to him?
I probably would have, Your Honor, but Junior was coming on pretty strong about things.
How strong?
He said that these were his, they belonged to him, but in the will stated otherwise.
Well, I mean, all right, I'm sort of belaboring the point.
May I interject something, ma'am,
Sure.
that may have some impact on this? Margaret had given Junior several things of significant import.
Yes, the car.
Silvano's Junior's father had purchased a car in '68, I believe it was, for his mother off the showroom floor, and he kept that '68 Pontiac in absolute perfect mint condition. Kept that in immaculate condition because it was, in effect, a shrine to his deceased. Okay. Point is, Margaret gave that to him. Margaret gave him several things. And when it came down to this, Margaret was at the point where she had given up everything to leave Illinois to come down and marry his father. Everything. Gave her house to the kids. She didn't come down with anything. What she was taking back with her to Illinois was her new start in life up there.
Just a second.
Okay.
Mr. Higbee says that when you came to marry Mr. Bonanni in 1988, 89, that you came with nothing because you gave everything to your children. Is that right?
I had a bank account, but, you know, my personal things, you know,
You what?
I left all my personal items up in Illinois, yes.
For your children?
To my children.
You gave them to your children?
Yes.
You gave them to your children. Didn't sell them to your children. You gave them, you just told me, to your children. Enough said about that. I mean, I just had a problem with that. And quite frankly, Mr. and Mrs. Higbee, I've read your papers, and it seems to me that you became very involved in this intrafamily problem. And you probably shouldn't have, because you got involved with packing up, you got involved with, there were police called because of this property. On at least one occasion, there were charges of burglary filed against your wife because she went into the house on a day when he says she shouldn't have been in the house.
And dismissed.
Well, Mr. Higbee, you seem like a very nice man.
Thank you.
You did a very dumb thing.
Helping a friend?
Well, you were not only helping a friend, but you were helping a friend in a situation where you knew there was going to be a problem. And if you were smart, you would have said to her, listen, instead of us helping you, you have adult children, I really want to do as much as I can for you, but we don't want to get involved in this intra-family dispute. We are not family. And you were not. And you were not. And she has grown children.
One of which came down to help us. Her son did arrive
Then
to help
her
us.
son should have had all the dealings with this, not you, because at least he had some sort of an interest in this stuff. And I'm just looking at these things, that this list, this laundry list of stuff. I'm going to go over some of it, but you know, some of it is ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tomato cages.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a break. I'm not wasting precious court time on things like 2 doormats.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. George and Johanna Higbee say they did a lot for Silvano Bonanni's late father and were promised they could take possessions left by him. Silvano says they belong to the family.
A large snowman. What is that? What is that?
It's a plastic lawn decoration or...
Ridiculous. I mean, is that what
Fine.
you're here for?
No,
A
ma'am.
large
No, ma'am.
Santa.
No, ma'am. I'm
Same
here
thing?
because he did not, in fact, live up to his part of the bargain. That he would take over the property and use the power of attorney that he used on the 1st of August.
Just a second. Just a minute. She's in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
She's got all of the stuff that she wants in Illinois already. Because you packed it up in the U-Haul.
This is true.
Still there.
It's true.
Of course it's true.
Or I'm on my way, as a matter of fact.
Whatever. She's
Right,
got all the
right.
stuff she wants in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, it's very simple. You're in Illinois with all your stuff. Does it make any difference if Junior went in there on the 27th or the 28th or the 29th? Not to you.
Well, it wouldn't have made a difference, Your Honor, if he hadn't touched my friend's stuff that I had given them.
That's what I'm saying. So the only people it made a difference to going in prior to August 1st were the plaintiffs. Because there were some things there that you say were left if you wanted them. And
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
reading the list over. Let's finish. We finished with the snowman and the large Santa Claus. Car care products. A barbecue. You have a barbecue?
It's a barbecue pit.
Okay, you still have that?
I still have it.
All right, I'm making a circle around that. Canning jars. A few tools. Grass seed. Come on, folks. A dresser mirror. What is that?
It's like a vanity mirror. That was actually there. My mother purchased that in Germany.
And it wasn't something that you had purchased from your stepmother.
That is correct. I did not deliberately purchase it.
All right. Tomato cages. Was you talking about the wire things that go around?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a break. I'm not wasting precious court time on
Fine.
things like 2 doormats. Tomato cages, paint, 2 garbage cans, wine glasses, 2 doormats, 2 large waste paper basket, brooms and mops, planters, dishes, bowls. Are you talking about any fancy dishes or just everyday eating dishes?
Everyday eating.
Suitcases. What kind of suitcases?
Regular suitcases, big suitcases.
That you have a use for?
I may.
Lawn furniture. You have lawn furniture?
Folding chairs.
They want them. A car carrier. What is that?
One of those luggage rack type things that goes on top of a car.
You want that?
Sure.
You have that?
It's there.
Good. 2 bug lights. Forget it. 5 or 6 packing boxes. Forget it. What's a compost bin? From back
It's
east.
what
I
you
don't
put
know what
shavings from the yard and everything. You make compost to put around your flowers. And
Right. I mean, do you buy this compost bin?
My husband did.
And how much do you pay for a compost bin?
It was around $800, sir.
Do you have that?
It's there.
Is it big thing?
It's
yes,
very
it's
big.
huge.
It's huge.
It's a big barrel type thing.
You going to transport that?
Sure. Yes.
Mr. Banani,
Yes, ma'am.
they want to come and schlep the compost thing from your house. We're going to let them.
Okay.
Right? Pieces of carpet.
All we did, ma'am, was at the court request
All
make a
right,
list of
but you don't
everything
really
on
want
it.
the piece of carpet.
Yes, we do.
You want them? You have old pieces?
No, ma'am. I threw them away.
Threw them away. 2 large pictures. What pictures?
They were paintings, Your Honor. One was in that was left in the kitchen, and one I think was down the hall. It was huge paintings.
Why didn't you want them?
They didn't have room on the truck, and I said, anything you don't have room on the truck, it's yours to decide if you want it.
What paintings is she talking about?
These are oil paintings that were purchased in Germany by my mother and father. Actually, in that particular situation, my mother died. Half of those items went to my sisters and I. So,
Just a second. Are these oil paintings?
Yes, they are.
That were there when you arrived?
Yes.
As well as that dresser mirror also. That was there when she arrived also.
That was there.
That was there. Is that an ornate thing that...
No, not really.
Why didn't you want it?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Well, let me ask you this question. If you didn't like it, and if you had no use for these paintings that were there before, why didn't you give them to Junior instead of giving them to strangers?
I would, Your Honor, if we had had a better relationship.
It wasn't your relationship that was important.
I
You
don't
shouldn't think
ever
that.
remember him and his father having a good relationship, Your Honor.
You weren't there very long.
Well,
You weren't there very long. Video. What's a video?
It was a video that you gave me. I can't remember the name of it.
Twister. It was a video of the movie Twister.
It was just something I didn't pick up.
Shh. You have that?
No, I don't.
I don't know what you mean by hardware. If you have canning jars, do you have canning jars there?
There's a large cabinet full. Yeah.
Large cabinet full of canning jars. They want them.
Okay.
And they're going to make arrangements to pick up all that stuff. Now, I don't know what you're talking about. Paint?
Just leftover cans of
It was
paint.
in gallons of paint.
Yeah. In the wines, in champagnes.
You have that stuff?
That's her.
The wines and champagnes?
Yes.
Fine. So, we have the wines, the champagnes, we have some paint, barbecue pit, lawn chairs, car carrier, compost bin, and if you find Twister, throw it in.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
No, listen to yourself, Mr. Higbee. She called the police.
Right.
She called the police. This side got the police involved.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. The Higbees are suing their late friend's son, Silvano Bonanni, for possessions promised to them for helping out.
What do you think about that?
90% of what was left there, Your Honor, we didn't even get a chance to go over it and see what it was. So all those kinds of things I would have gone through. And some amount of that, Your Honor, we would have left for Junior had he not started this whole thing by charging my wife with breaking and entering, having policemen come out to the house and fingerprint her for an absurd claim.
Well, did your wife go into the house? Did she break into the house?
At Mrs. Bonanni's request.
Just a second.
Yes.
Just a second.
Yes. With the Bexar County Sheriff?
Just a second.
Okay.
She actually, he had changed the locks, changed the garage opener, and according to these papers, she pried open a door, which caused some damage, and went into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now you say, with Mrs. Bonanni's permission. Mrs. Bonanni's in Illinois with her children.
But had paid the mortgage and told Junior he was not to be in the house until the 1st. Our charge was to go up there, finish going through everything that was left, take what we wanted, clean the house, prepare it for giving it to him the 1st of August. And we had planned to do all that. So it's a little different than breaking and entering the way you think of a B&E.
I understand that this was a terribly unfortunate circumstance. Bottom line is, Mr. Bonanni Jr. over here could not have been heard to complain if when he moved in there on either August 1st or July 27th that the house was dirty. So the reason that you went there was to go through the things, to see what things you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason, not to clean the house for Junior. I mean, let's forget clean the house for Junior. You went there to see.
Okay, but that's what we would have done.
That's what you were going in there for. And the reason you called the police to get in there was because you wanted to see what had been left for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm suggesting to you is, at that point, instead of calling police and getting involved, whatever junk was left there for you, tomato cages, grass seed, brooms and mops.
A wine collection, several things.
Whatever it wasn't worth getting the police involved.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
So we did not. We did not. He called the police, not us. He filed the complaint.
No. Listen to yourself, Mr. Higbee. And I'm not saying Junior's a nice person, a good person, anything. I'm not suggesting that he's an angel.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife called her in Illinois. She called the police.
Right.
She called the police. This side got the police involved first.
Mm-hmm. And this could have been avoided if I can interject one more thing. The night that the detective called us and said, case dismissed, there is no breaking and entering, there is no theft, there is no anything, I called Junior and spoke to him and said, why don't we just come up there, get what we need, you can apologize to my wife, and that's that. He refused.
I refuse to apologize.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
This is a good lesson for everybody who's got things, what can happen after you're not here any longer, and why people have to make very careful provisions for what happens to their property.
He did take proper care, ma'am. In his last will and testament,
I
It's very
understand what the
general.
will says. What I'm telling you, Mr. Higbee, is I assume that Mr. Bonanni felt that anything that he was leaving to his wife, she wanted. She didn't want these things. And what's sticking in him over here, and I quite frankly understand it, is that she would prefer to give it to strangers than to have.
Not strangers.
You are strangers to him. You were a stranger to his mother. So what I'm saying to you, I mean, you still think you're right. And there's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to suggest to you that you're not right. They're discarded things that she didn't want, and things that she didn't want, which may have some sentimental value for him. And I ain't talking about the garbage cans. Should go to his children, not to strangers. This is a short-term marriage where Mrs. Bonanni gave everything she owned to her children. Goodbye, folks. I've had enough.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Bailiff Byrd. This is the case of Grant versus Rivera. The plaintiff is suing for $2,000 after the defendant allegedly changed all her passwords, locking her out of her laptop, cloud, and client workspaces. Judge Judy, leaning forward. You changed your ex-girlfriend's passwords on her laptop and cloud accounts after the breakup? Mason, arms crossed. I was the one who set them up. She didn't even know half her logins. Judge Judy, dryly. And so naturally, you thought you owned them. Got it. Alyssa, visibly stressed. I broke up with Mason 2 weeks before this happened. The next morning, I opened my laptop and everything was locked of Google, Dropbox, even Canva. It said incorrect password across every tab. Judge Judy. And he had access? Alyssa. Yes. He helped set up my accounts when we moved in together. He had admin rights on my devices. I trusted him. Judge Judy, shaking head. You trusted a tech guy with your digital keys. That's like handing a toddler your wedding cake. Mason, smirking. She dumped me over text. I was angry. I didn't delete anything, I just changed a few passwords to buy myself time. Judge Judy. Time for what? Mason. To think. To cool off. She was being dramatic. Judge Judy, cold. You don't get to hold someone's life hostage because your feelings are hurt. Alyssa presents. Screenshot of reset notices from Google, Canva, Dropbox. Text from Mason. You want access back? Let's talk like adults. You can't ghost me and expect tech support. Timeline showing 4 days of missed client work. Lost gig contract worth $1,500. Invoice from IT specialist for emergency data access, $500. Judge Judy. He cost you a job, and you had to hire help to undo his little tantrum? Alyssa. Yes. And I had to tell my clients that my ex-boyfriend hijacked my laptop. Judge Judy, angrily. Humiliating and expensive. That's quite a combination. Alyssa. He knew this was my business. My whole life is on that drive, presentations, taxes, photos. It was cruel. Mason. It's not like I deleted anything. Judge Judy. You might as well have. She lost time, money, and trust. You digitally vandalized her life. Judge Judy, to Mason. You claim to be a developer. But you don't understand boundaries, legality, or decency. Mason. I said I was sorry. Judge Judy, sharply. You're not sorry. You're just sued.